I'm not asking you to start recording. I'm just trying to
Start
get-
recording. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, right. I think the ground rules is simple. We value character packages based on what other characters they work best with, as well as considering what class cards and generic cards they can take advantage of.
Can we just put Okita and S and call it done?
Okay, where does
Okita,
anger
Okita,
go?
Okita. Yeah, so anger first.
So do
Anger
we
probably
include? Okay,
sits in C. Honestly.
do we include like
Do
we include everything they can use, right? Like
Yeah.
Avenger skills, any skills and shit.
I mean,
So let's grab up the relevant cards here, shall we?
I did.
Angro Menju.
We put Angra as D until he makes this a fucking Avenger. Jesus Christ.
By this, we are talking about Angramenu Scapegoat, the 100 power no-type mortal who...
I feel like this still works well in the Angry Party deck.
It has niche uses in other decks, but on its own, it's very not good.
It's just really annoying that you have to get this killed on your own, because why the fuck would anyone attack into this?
Yeah.
No, you know what's annoying? That this has 2 HP. That's
Yeah,
what's
That too, yeah.
HP is kind of the worst part about it. But I feel like we can confidently say that these three here are probably the worst parts of his chases, his
Yeah,
heroes.
let's be honest. Anger Mayu is carried by this card and these two cards.
I don't. This is not that good. This is
this was
not
a lot-
good.
Yeah.
This is
Honestly,
very
this is better. This is actually not bad because it synergizes with how anger is supposed to work.
Yeah, you just keep resummoning them.
Yeah.
Supposedly, but I guess I haven't seen it really work out in play.
I haven't
um,
seen the resummoning really work, but you know what works? Just
You're
playing
fucking
these,
Jolter
just
deck.
playing these guys and annihilation wishing them,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that is enough. They are just 1 HP, and that is good enough.
Yeah,
And
anyway,
the immense
it's-
amount of threat they bring to the table with Annihilation Wish, Twin Fang Grinder, and of course Blasphemous Jeer.
Yeah,
It's
Blasphemous
kind of
is actually
fucking
quite good.
crazy.
I never.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen this used in the game.
I've
this
seen
either.
that
I
used
played
against
yesterday. It
me,
was
and-
very effective.
Yeah.
He fucking slapped my ass with that shit.
Mhm. But yeah, this okay. Yeah, this would be a lot better if this had 1 HP. And
I feel like, to sum up the thoughts in general, though, he's generally rather niche. He can't trigger the direct damage from Religion Correction easily, but he has a lot of threats when he's played alone. I think he should go C or maybe B, especially since he can't synergize with other decks
I'm
too
kind of
well.
leaning to low B, honestly.
Yeah, are you recording the XC?
yeah, he's
Yes, they
recording.
You know that people can't see your screen, right?
Is it because I put it
Like-
like that? Is this better?
No, I mean, like people can't see
board.
TTS, so they won't
Yeah,
know which
TTS.
cards we're talking about.
Oh no, I have it set up like you can't see it.
You're
but I have it
recording
set
both?
up so you can look at the thing because it's display capture
Okay.
for me.
All right,
He knows
sick.
what he's doing.
Sick,
Okay.
sick.
Okay, Atoya's next.
After using her more, she's better than I thought. Actually.
I'm leaning to A
Yeah,
just because fucking magic resistance
Let's
is a
go
card.
ahead and grab these, put
Let's
them
pull her
down.
shit.
It's
Um,
She might actually be better than. Well,
she's
I think she
paid by
probably.
this.
Okay,
she
we have a lot
probably
of cards to
became-
talk about.
She probably became better when Magic Resist got changed, actually, but we just never really picked up on it.
I feel like we can pick out the stars of the show when it comes to this. This doesn't really have a place. This one is rather niche, but
It's a
King of
meme.
Nobus is a fucking fantastic deck.
I
It's
hate
very
King
fun.
of Nobus shouldn't exist.
Okay.
Okay. I would say we just go over them one by one.
All of these three are amazing, though.
Yeah, this is so good in some mortal decks. Like I love this. 300 and you get access to this card. I love this.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. This is very good with team decks because the ones per game doesn't matter because it's the last Artoria you will see apart from your team. So this is very good in team decks. And even if you don't run teams, just search.
Yeah, it's pretty
Because
fucking good.
you are very combo reliant servant, so searching one piece is very nice.
As for King of Knights, I actually really like them, even if it's a bit niche to
You played
have their
independent
maneuver.
action.
she's great with archers in the deck, and if there's ever a an archer team with her that isn't the fucking meme one, I think it would be really nice for her.
I mean, a lot of decks nowadays run like one shot round one with shit ton of hit counts, and she's very good against those.
Yeah.
This one I've never seen used, and I would never use because okay, let's say you run this one and you play 1 mana Excalibur. You have 1,000.
The
Okay,
two things that you pay
Yeah.
that you play mana with at all is these two, but that's about it. And I don't think that's really worth starting out with 300
I mean,
power. and
sure, but
additional
this
hit
still
count.
only has 300, so
Yeah, it doesn't
kinda
make up for the lack.
it doesn't make up for it.
Especially since this one is very good in multiple decks, this one is very good with teams, and this one you don't really even want to field that much.
I always thought, for some reason, this is Artoria Lily, by the way, and not Artoria. But yeah.
It is.
It is Lily?
Yes.
Yes.
Then why does Jolter Lily have the thing and she doesn't?
It's not the
They
same
just-
character.
Then you could play these two together, you know?
Yeah, but you can't.
So
And then you make this a global effect, you know? And then you play these two together and have cheap Excaliburs.
Don't get me.
I
don't
really
get me
like
ideas.
all of these skills. The main issue is that she's just very, very vulnerable to, void space, magic resistance, etc., etc., etc. But that's what she has magic resistance for. And
Yeah.
it feels very natural to have that in your kit because she gets a big ass reward from getting a 2 additional hit count.
I feel like... I keep forgetting that Striker actually discards assists. It's actually a very strong effect.
Yeah. It can be better than Excalibur in a lot of cases, honestly, because 300, and if you discard 4 assists, which is possible, you basically have an Excalibur with no mana cost.
Yeah, he basically gets a lot of hit count, discards assists, which can prevent teams, and just has Unga Bunga.
Admittedly, it's basically 3 restricted skills, considering this, unless you played Invisible Air like multiple times in a row, which is very
But
awkward to
why would you
consider.
do that?
Yeah. And Vivian's Gift, I feel like, is slept on a bit. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's a good skill. But it's dead on round 1 if you didn't mulligan, but that's fine.
Yeah. And then we get to teams where
Okay.
she's
best assist in the game
very
right here.
fucking.
I like the team assist. I think more because it's just less generic.
Well,
overall.
the thing is that this is a very nice card to stick in any deck with a command seal, because if you've already got your team out and you've got a command seal, you can just shove this in there, pull it with a command seal, and suddenly you have a plus 200 assist.
Yeah, exactly.
Which means that the card is no longer dead.
Like,
Okay,
yeah, this is
okay,
good.
one by one. This was dog shit, and it got buffed. Maybe it's okay
I
now.
look forward
I
to
don't
trying
know.
this out.
I do not consider this to be a very impactful buff. I'm gonna be real.
It
I don't-
actually heals now. It didn't heal before because your opponent always attacks into it.
It's true, but you are playing a saber. When do you not want to attack? And, like, who is dealing very small hits to you exactly? Like,
You
Who?
Can't play projection magic, dude.
Could make it. Yeah, concept.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you are a team deck. You start with 601. It's not like you're going to get poked down by 300s, 400s, and 500s unless they're committing to it. And you just need to play a martial skill or a projection magic or any of those skills, and suddenly you're just beating them over the head unless they invest like an absolute shit ton.
Get papayas.
Okay, this team, I tried to make it work.
That
and-
looks terrible on paper. I'm sorry.
Okay, I tried to make it work, and I kind of did not know that the mesh exists at Surge Command Seals, so after I find that out, it's a lot more playable.
I don't
I
know.
think I think she's a very strong master because most enemies just can't really fucking kill you unless they're Okita or something like that. So you can kind of just sit there rock solid and bash their servants' skulls in and win the game like that, but it's easier said than done in most cases.
I think we already discussed at length about how this has the potential to just be broken.
Have we?
I'm pretty
I
sure
mean,
we
the only thing
have.
that this seems particularly good with is Blue Anger Menu, which
Yeah. What you basically do with this team is you either start with this or this. If you have this, you get a free skill, and if you start with this, you can like attack directly and then form the team, and then you can maybe go for one shot.
Yeah, it's great.
And then this doesn't matter because you just one-shot them with this and maybe Saber with magic resistance. So, yeah.
It's a very strong and interesting combination for sure.
Yeah. Okay, I feel like this one you only use with the Angra and never anywhere else.
There's just no real reason to have that much mana in the game. You've already got your team out. What are you going to spend the mana on?
More
It's
teams.
not, it's not like you could use Excalibur 4 times in a fight, you know?
Yeah.
And Artoria Downward's good. I don't really think there's too much else to say about it.
That's fine. Yeah.
It's alright.
In this sense, I'd probably put her high B, low A-ish.
I'm leaning to the low A.
A for Artoria.
Because I feel like, because it's just like, we're still at the, how do I put it, the infancy of the game. I think we should be safe to kind of overplay
I'll be
the
right back.
placement of certain cards, because we're still developing the meta and all that, still figuring out stuff, so I think we should be allowed to overplay the placements a little.
Certainly.
Okay, we'll have to Ku now. Okay, I want to put Ku in, like, I want to say A-ish, just because...
I'm gonna be honest. After the multiple buffs Ku has gotten across the game, I
I'll
can't
say
see him
S.
in anything else but S.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's true. I mean, considering the fact you got this weird-ass combination you can do with the team, you have access to a generic searcher and recover card if you want to play the caster or pay 1 mana. And then you also have whatever the fuck this is. Yeah, no,
Well, the main thing is that you facilitate an immense amount of stall decks and everything else
yeah, day
with
off.
Day Off Coup, and it's one of the best cards in the game for that purpose.
Exactly.
Even if even if they're hard to protect.
You also have 2 really good protection cards in defensive tactics and disengage.
Well, moving back to the chases, we have Relentless Hotshots, who work exceedingly well with Waver.
Okay, I'm back. Is this cool?
Yes. But yeah, we're talking about Relentless Hotshots, and this is intensely amazing with Waver, because with an assist and King's Gambit, suddenly the enemy has no hand, and you have 3 hit count.
Yeah.
And that's just... it's crazy. It's crazy strong.
But it's you need like 4 specific cards to do that.
Yeah.
So I think it's fine.
Of course. It's not overpowered.
Yeah.
And then Q and Darmoid is fucking insane. You could theoretically never die, and you can recycle these incredible skills.
Yeah. Like in general with the Armut, the game walk's actually a skill now. So yeah, he's that's kind of good now. Search is always nice, and protection of arrows is
It's
disgusting.
so amazing.
Holy shit! Yes.
In terms of chases, though, he's actually a little let down, other than Day Off Coup, I think.
Yeah, I mean
Shield
they're
of
whole
Ulster-
thing entirely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shield of Ulster is okay. Definitely when you're being attacked, it's definitely decent, but you're playing
it's nothing
Coup,
you really run, honestly.
Yeah. Grimner the Sage is...
Never saw this one in the game before.
Yeah, same. Child of Light can facilitate some really, really fun memes, but that's about the only thing that I've ever seen it
Yeah.
used for.
The issue is if you go first, then your opponent already has a big hand when you attack. So
Yeah. You really want to be second when that happens. I know
Yep.
Keeper's cooking up something interesting with that. Maybe we'll see it someday.
this used to be very good. I think now it's probably just good.
Yeah. And in that sense, he's very reliant on teams to hit the real meat.
I mean, you can probably still run like Coup aggro with just Gabe Walls, protections, and this dude, and you do very fine.
It's true. On top of this, he has access to these very good Lancer cards. Defensive Tactics is amazing, just flat out. Battle Continuation is rarely used, but I feel like it's
It's waiting
A direct-
for something to break it.
it's directly countering several decks in the game because you cannot end the fight with effects is an amazing
We
ability.
need more of that effect in the game, dude. Okay.
And disengage is
Saberclaws?
the one. Disengage is the one that lets the
I
trio
take my
down.
words back. Yeah.
Disengage is the one that lets down the trio.
I don't
but
use this anymore. That's a bit.
all of the class skills have one
I
that's
never
a
use
bit of a
disengage.
letdown. I'm gonna be
There's
honest.
still better fight enders than disengage in the game.
Yeah. Well, aside from Avenger, actually, Avenger's got 3 good cards now.
I feel like, and he also works very well with Kirei because Kirei can just kill the assists for this, and he also actually works quite well with the Kirei cards in general.
Yep. So, where are we gonna put him? I'm gonna say S. but
I'm hyped
that's
for
just
the
my
Kirei
opinion.
coup team, dude.
Yeah, I'm on S.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's a D mute.
Yeah, he can be like low S probably.
Mhm.
Half of it is just day off coup, honestly.
So, I feel-
Dirmut. Okay, I tried. I played a bit of Dirmut.
I think it's a mixed bag.
He's a bit less of a meme than an F-Dom, at least.
Yes.
I just feel like overall he's a bit of
okay.
a mixed bag, to be honest.
Okay, let's see. I like this one because if you attack, you have a saber of 502 that's already very solid because you have saber class, and you can make your opponents not gain anything, which is nice. I like the saber one.
Yeah, that's the only D mute I kinda like, to be honest.
I like this one, but the game has kind of some things that kind of just murder this more than when he got released, probably.
Yeah.
Like the Kirei thing, the Sakura thing, in general, like the Artoria thing, intervention. There are some stuff which
Gate of Babylon as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. And since he's not a saber, he cannot actually protect his assist. So
Indeed.
yeah.
So, like, the thing you do with Dirmut, at least as what I'm concerned, is that you run just 4 defensive tactics. Because he has so much hit count that he can just compensate, just convert it into power with that, and just wins fight that way.
I don't really see it.
He can have
outside of Resort
3,
and
I guess.
Trickster, but
He can have 2, and he
no,
can... Yeah.
this Diarmuid cannot use defensive tactics.
Yeah, that one can.
Oh,
cannot.
yeah.
But I mean, if you're running a demo deck, you might get a Lance assist for this guy. And then it
You
works
also have like Rose Mortality.
works also for this guy, works for...
Like, this is a
But
bit
this
like
one's a bit tricky.
Yeah. This is
But
a
also
bit like
works for this.
Artoria with the combo things, but unlike Artoria, Diamo doesn't have a search for these, which is
Yeah.
Yeah, but you also have Rose, right? You can also
Yeah.
play Rose on
You
that.
have
Yeah.
better results as well because discarding one of your active skills is very strong.
Honestly, I don't know the loves for like I don't think Diamond is a staller, honestly.
I don't agree actually because
I mean, I
Kerstin,
guess he has defensive tactics. I mean,
Kerstin
disengage.
showed me one very, very funny meme. And that was using this with a big rock solid master. This guy.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
thinking. You could do that. It's fucking
He just,
stupid.
he just filled my grail with these one fucking things. And then with Blasphemous Gear, suddenly this guy was 1,002. And every time I try to use a skill, I mill 2 or 4.
But why is he 1,000?
Because Blasphemous Jeer gives you fucking
Oh,
100 per person in the enemy grail? And
For
of course-
HP.
Per HP, yeah.
uh,
So I want to kill him to get rid of him because he's a 502, which means that he's very threatening if I don't have a high power master. But he gets stronger.
Alright, he has the fucking mill synergy.
Yes, and then the mill synergy comes in. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say this is very good, but it's very funny. Yeah.
You should see Kessam's deck. He should try it against you sometime.
I don't have it, it was a draft deck.
Well, make a proper one then.
Yeah, and,
Okay,
and his
sure.
teams are like, this is fine and this is probably good. I didn't use this one yet, and I used this one and it's alright. It's just kind of hard dice to discard assists
Yeah.
decks, but if you don't run into
No,
the
it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's a 600 into team with 2 very, very combat-focused servants.
I guess if you rely less on the fight ability and play more skills, then yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, I personally put him around about in B or C. He doesn't have too much to contribute to other decks, but on his own, he's very decent.
Yeah, I would say B.
Need to be. What do I have?
Probably better than Angra though.
Okay.
Okay.
Emmy is next.
Emiyashiro.
Alright, I think this is our first D.
Oh, okay, we
yeah,
have
I
fucking
kind of
two.
just don't like Emmy in general.
What do we have? Two? Ah, whatever.
What
They're just
happens?
too useless on them.
I
I don't
think
like Emmy.
Muramasa is kind of insane, actually.
Muramasa is the entire reason this isn't like immediately going into D.
Muramasa, I think a Doom Husk is nowadays very shit, because when do you even see decks with a master of 4 HP?
Well, you see it with teams a lot.
Yeah.
But the main issue is that you're playing Emiyashiro against the team. They have access to, at minimum, 2 skill bases. Probably another 2 if they're a double servant one with their class skills. And, well, they probably have a higher base power than you anyway.
It's a shame. I really like to run this, but
I kind of
nowadays, every time I take it, it doesn't do anything, the fight effect.
Yeah.
Kind of sad.
Counter Guardians.
But-
This is probably good, especially with the buff on this.
Yeah, it's definitely decent, but I still really wouldn't run him in at all. Personally.
I think it's fine.
I really want to run a Psycho Destiny deck, but I don't know how I'm going to get around to it.
I don't like this Emiya. This one's also kind of good, because you just throw fucking 5 cards.
Yeah, you can just splash
Up to
him
5.
you just splash him into any stall deck or anything like that, and suddenly he eats around, and he's only 2 HP. He's
I remember the first time I played this against Simp, I thought that the upper thing is a downside, that only this dude can attack. But and I thought the card was still good because it drew cards. And then, wait a second, that's also an upside? Yeah, I like this one. It's pretty good.
The biggest issue with his skills right now is that he effectively has no real damage skill. Unlimited Blade Works is in a bit of an unfortunate position in that you need to have 3 individual unique skills from different heroes.
No, you get
Are you
300
afraid?
if you do that.
Yeah.
And at that point you run Martial skill instead, I guess.
Yeah.
With this one and this one.
Considering how fast the games are, it's very hard to get anywhere near the high cap of value in this unless you actively mulligan through your deck.
Honestly,
And
it's probably better to run this with these Shiros, because then you mill 3 and you have a chance of hitting a skill.
maybe. Other than that,
Ruayas is fine, but I wouldn't run Shiro for Ruayas, honestly.
if Roias was on anyone else, it'd be great. But it isn't.
And Projection Magic was a meme, now it's okay, I think. This order is fucking good though, if you can survive the initial downside. Drawing that many cards is very nice, especially when you have fucking Muramasa and Magic Resistance, so you can stop fight enders and actually can use these cards.
And the teams are very mixed bag.
Okay,
Right,
I have 2 decks with this team. One is with Karma, so you just start with 2 HP. So you just have a 702 with which was kind of funny. And one is when with I run the fucking Gil, which gives you a self fit and 300 and last breath. So you just take you just are very strong and have very high hit count, but he's kind of risky too. Then this one I never used before. I cannot say much about it.
It seems really terrible to me, I'm gonna be honest.
Wait, are these restricted? Oh, it is restricted. Is Bellerophon restricted?
Bellerophon is not restricted.
Oh, okay.
You're effectively only influencing...
If Bellerophon's not restricted, I could see this team being a bit useful.
It's like 6, and this one is pay 1 mana, and the other one is discard your own assist, which is not very much of a benefit when you're only 501. And these 3 teams...
Oh no, Bellerophon is restricted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, then this team's kinda shit.
Sorry, I thought you meant grailed, but yeah, no.
Nah, I mean restricted. Okay.
Yeah. It's restricted. But yeah, the Homely Life and Unbroken Promise, you could make the effect win the game, and I'd still consider it to be relatively bad on the
I
transfer.
didn't try it yet, but still seems to be kind of scuffed.
I feel like if you want to recycle your grave, you just take Dog Coup. Like you just take a day off.
I mean, you don't play it for the recycle. You play it for the. You have 6 cards in your opponent's turns every round.
I mean, but if you wanted to do that and you're running Shiro, then you just run the Audio, don't you?
No, you have 3 cards in your opponent's turn if you run this. If you run this.
And then Sword and Sheath just I don't value healing in this game particularly, but maybe that's just my Okita brain rot.
This team I've seen once.
It's a fun
I mean,
team.
the synergy is to draw a shit ton of cards with this, and then you discard it, and you have like 1002. And then you probably also get a bunch of hit count with this. And you can just take the win with Pot of Greed, which you probably run in the Emia decks anyway, so this
Yeah.
should be fine.
Yeah,
It should be fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Psycho Destiny is very fun deck. I kind of fuck
Yeah.
around with it sometimes.
It should be a good team.
It's okay. I'll give it that. I'll give it.
So-
I would say Shiro is carried by Muramasa, this Odor,
I really do
this
not take
dude,
the Muramasa
and
one.
this dude. These are like the 4 saviors of Shiro, kind of.
Yeah. The real question is, do they save him from D?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, they
Then
put him
he's
in C.
going to be sitting in C, I think.
Have they put him in C? It's fine, guys. Don't need to murder anyone. Okay. Next is Gilgamesh. Okay. Right, so tell me why Gilgamesh shouldn't be in S.
A lot of reasons.
Okay, fine, let's hear them.
Because he's Unga Bunga without stopping fight enders.
Well, there is one that you can do for that being Mind's Eye, but you have to...
I like
You definitely need to know the cards, and you definitely need to not be stopping something else as well.
saying
And you
is
need to know
Gilgamesh
which
is
fight
for
ender it
big-brain
is.
players.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
Unga Bunga for people who actually want to use their brain.
It's Anga Banga without magic resistance, so it's the default, not good.
No, like I said, it's Unga Bunga
Yeah.
for people who want to use their brain.
I feel like a lot of the...
You mean who want to lose?
It's just Bunga without the Unga.
I feel like a lot of the bodies are also very disappointing. The Grand Action buff for Lord of Uruk was nice, but I still don't really feel like it makes him any more viable for any of the fights, for any of the games that you're really in over Nobukatsu or something like that. He just doesn't really add an extensive amount, but it's definitely nice that he was buffed.
I like this skill is fine in Gildex. This one can be good, but can also fuck you very hard in some matchups where
Yeah.
your opponent just kills you with assists. I really like this skill, but not really in Gildex. You play this in other decks because it's,
Yeah. He's great as an assist.
yeah. You draw a card and you get 300 power and you get
I
archer
mean-
skills.
You can run them in Gildex. It's perfectly fine.
You can, yes.
Oh, you do.
Sorry, I just.
I
saw
think I would
something.
run other things in Gildex, honestly.
Alright.
Now, the biggest issue, though, with his
I have never
changes
seen this one before.
is Fledgling Tyrant. It's just...
I've never seen this after the buff. I don't know.
Alright,
It's dead.
okay, guys, hear me out. This with Full of Awa, the Nobunaga fighter.
Shouldn't this be like very matchup dependent? But if you get a good matchup, it's kind of good.
But the issue is that what matchup do you have with him that's good? Heracles?
Every team in the game.
Yeah,
Nearly every
but
team in the game.
then the team just unga-bungas over you in most cases and wins the fight anyway.
Yeah, but do they Anga Bunga over you with -3 cards?
Well, you just take the -2 hit count. You're
Then
playing
do
a
they even do
team.
damage?
Most teams have hit count, and most teams give you access to something which increases hit count too.
But then you get crit. And then you do another -1.
You,
And you have
don't-
Shade of Babylons.
you do. But then what is your
Okay,
win
so
con
I'm-
if you've attributed that much of your deck to such a thing?
You just stall and win with fucking Lancer coup, with the dog coup.
Then they don't attack this guy, and then they attack Dog and or your master.
And then you play your fight enders.
I just feel at that point you generally have better options than Fledgling Tyrant.
I don't know. I haven't used this one yet. He should be good in these fucking Iskander 2 HP army decks.
Maybe. Especially if you're fighting a hero, but a team. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's in very niche, which is a bit unfortunate. Speaking of which, his skills are.
I always said Gate of Babel is such a shit card, but it got a little better with all the good teams we have now because
Yes.
cutting is kind of good.
Honestly, I feel like it could lose its requirements and still be just not overpowered, but it's definitely decent as is. My main issue with it, though, really is that it really doesn't synergize well with Chains of Heaven. Because you really want people to get over the 1,000 margin with these two skills likely in your deck. And this reduces the person's overall power.
Just don't play them together.
Yeah, honestly, just
In fights where you just want to FF, you just play this, and if you in fights you actually want to win, you go for these.
no, you just mine them every time.
AS is a lot better now than before.
Oh, yes. AS is so much better.
I like AS now.
I feel like he was very let down by the fact he only had 2 power boosting cards. Now this is basically a 1.5. It means that he's in much better position.
Mortify is fine at some decks. It can be a win con.
It's very niche, yeah. But what about this team, the Sadistic Hedonist, eh?
Make sure if you run this team, you have units which are not Gil and Kirei, so you don't have to take the self with everyone. They only have one attacker. But so you really need other heroes to play this.
Yeah.
I feel like. And I didn't build the deck around it yet. I just built one with the Kirei Shiro, and then I just put one of this dude in because I run this dude in the fucking the Kirei Shiro deck.
I feel like there's some interesting things that you can do with the formation of this team as well, because Kirei can unrestrict his skills and then form the team, which is a bit of an interesting maneuver.
Yeah, you can also go with the fucking Kirei who can play all of his skills. You play like 2 black keys and then you go into this. Then you keep the black keys.
Mm-hmm. In general, I'd probably put him in B, probably the top of B, Gilgamesh as a whole.
That kind of makes me sad.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh god, we have to Gills now.
Gildre.
I'm sorry, we have to Pilates #1 fan. That's I'm gonna say something.
So I guess we
blasphemous.
count these fucking things as Gills as well.
Yeah,
It's under dials in the thing, it has
Yeah.
to be.
just to say something
Yeah.
blasphemous straight off the bat. I'm not a fan of Gills in this game. There you go.
I feel like he pretty much does what I would expect him to do
Honestly,
in this kind of game.
Also, I just look at Gills, I'm just thinking, man, I'd rather just build around the big monsters than Gills himself.
I mean, you kind of need Gills for the big ass monster.
Best big monster
Like,
ever.
I can see some memes with this and Herc, but then like that's about it. Maybe this with Anger. There's some weird Anger shit there. Are you really gonna be forming that team? Are you?
I mean,
Are you kidding me?
it's
The team is insane.
Yeah, it seems kind of good.
Pitch it to us,
I would
Kirsten.
just
Let's
play
hear it.
Gene at that point.
You just play it. Trust me. Give it a spin. I've got
I
a
do
pre-made
think-
deck in the bag. You can
I
try
do
it.
think with Rapid Incantation and John Alter's skills, you can output probably the most damage and hit count in the game very, very fucking easily with this.
And if your opponent has a master with 1 hit count, with 1 HP left, you just win by having this, because then they are on the timer now, and not you.
Yep.
It's also quite good because Ijan self-arms, right?
Yeah.
So forming a team with her is actually super good, and right now there are no other
Yep.
options.
Literally
Yeah,
this
just-
him.
If your
This is
enemy
broken,
master is
why
like
didn't
1
you nerf
HP,
it?
you just Grundomo.
Literally this him. If this is stupidly broken, why haven't you nerfed it?
I have
say
nerfed it.
He didn't say
Because
stupidly
you have
broken.
more power. It's nerfed.
But I
Yeah,
feel like we can't really include most of Giles' value in this team because it's
Yeah.
mostly just being an assistant to this team rather than being a core fundamental part
Exactly.
of
This
this
team is more of a Gene team than a fucking Gills team, and like Gills is just Gills is just Gills.
I feel like
Try this, man.
I
THC.
like this dude with this. It's
Yes.
nice.
That is a very fun deck to play.
Yeah,
Super flexible. Does a lot of damage.
yeah. You have
And
like
can stall. Can do both things.
and on one side you have this fucking thing, and on one side you have the model. And we also have some models in the game now where summoning them actually gives you something, and then you can just kill them. Like I played with the fucking I played this with the BB, which lets you get the card from your discard into your hand by summoning, and then no, that's the action. But if you summon it, you get your action back, and then yeah, you actually can sacrifice it then. And you could also get back your thingies from the grave with her. I kind of didn't realize when I built this deck that this needs a wave to be discarded, and not any card. But yeah, Spellbook is not that great of a card, honestly.
Which sucks because it's Pilates, Kazim. What the fuck?
It's not. It's a book.
Yeah, it's Pilates spellbook.
Yes.
Before we
Yes.
get bogged down too much in that, why don't we give a brief overview of the
Evolution's also nice.
Symphonics? Because
Yeah, let's be honest, you're building the deck around them.
I like this one also because you have like 3 HP of these fucking things, and your opponent is like, what am I supposed to do now? Because if he fucking fights through these with 3 HP, you get 3 hits in your hand, and they get 1 HP in their grail.
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah,
yeah.
it bogs down the fights incredibly.
Yeah. I think this is very slept on, and I never really used this one.
Yeah,
I think
Kinda.
that's more a part of Mildex
Yeah.
rather than necessarily a part of.
No.
Giles' deck.
This guy has a very, very specific purpose now, and that is to enable your Vile Offering. You run Massive as your master, then you summon the shield and use Suicide him to just activate Vile Offering.
That makes
There you
sense.
go. I mean, you don't get to do the action then, but whatever. That's how you
Yeah,
set up, and then
That
you
makes
can
sense.
do the rest.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say
some
this.
goes on.
I've been cooking with Heretical Summoner. I've been trying to figure out something with fucking Herc and Gills, and it hasn't worked out yet, so I want a really big fucking Herc. That's all you need to know.
So, taking all of this in mind, where do we feel Giles lands in the tier list?
Fucking B. I don't know, man. I just like Heretical Summoner, and then you pair it with fucking Clairvoyance. Sure.
I feel like yeah, he has like a lot of the separate uses, like this as a package. Then you can run.
You can
can
also
run-
just put this into other Wraith decks, and then it just acts very, very decently on its own.
Then you have this fucking thing, which is I'm not sure how good this actually is because I've never seen this properly used yet. Only there's some fucking random ass Okita decks for some reason. And this team should also still be good. Yeah, I think Jill did it. And these are disgusting to play against. Yeah.
I think I'd probably put them down to C personally because of the very more niche applications of things in comparison to the other people in B. But I'm going to be honest, I haven't really touched this guy too much.
Yeah, I'm just
I
putting
think
C
he-
above Emia for now.
I think he's like more. I think he's better than Angra though. Angra is a lot more niche than him, I think.
I mean, at least he has Demon Marshal, which is kind of funny.
How about you, Kesson?
Ooh. I would probably place him in C. He also has like the big disadvantage that he's caster, and caster have currently like the worst class skills in the game.
Yeah.
Alrighty
I'm
then.
sure.
Who's next?
Hassan.
Oh, Hassan.
Okay, I have mixed feelings on Hassan.
I love this team, dude.
Yeah, okay, let's ignore the team for now. Let's please
I
over
love
there. I
that
don't want
team.
to look at them.
Left to right.
Okay.
Okay.
I never actually used this dude, but he's this like probably the best version of Hassan running this.
Yeah, I like running King Sun as my master, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about Hassan as a package overall. And it mainly leads to the specific I guess what you can say zombies of them.
Zabania.
Yeah, Zabanias. Call them Zabayas. I don't know why.
The
But no,
Zibby
I
Zabby.
have mixed feelings about the Zabanias.
Okay.
What are those feelings?
It's really because these are specific to what I guess Asan you're playing as the assist. So it's like you need 2 cards to specifically activate those cards if they're not your fighter / master. So you would need to go for example, I want to use the Delusional Poison. I would have to Serenity use this, and then I would have the Delusional Poison. That's like a 2-card combo. And that's why I have mixed feelings on it, because I'm not a fan of 2-card combos. I kind of like the idea of I can play the card now without having to rely on something else.
But you don't need to run delusional.
Yeah, I mean
Why isn't he used
Serenity.
the Zabania?
So then,
Dude, Serenity is so good that she's fucking running decks without any other Hassan skill, just her in fucking random S decks. That's how
Serenity
good
is-
she is.
oh yeah,
Serenity can be put in almost any deck in the game,
I
and
was
it's
using
good.
Serenity
Yeah, and
as
she
an
will do be fine.
example.
Yeah.
But the,
Okay.
just the alliterate my bit. Man, I can't English right now. It's like 1 o'clock. To alliterate
Fine.
my point that I feel like it's weird trying to play a dedicated Asan deck where you really won't be using most of these cards. Like I think realistically, maybe you can see Phantasmal Pedigree because it's a 1-drop searcher. It's kind of useful. But aside from that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Usually, when it comes to the specific Hassan skills, if you're running a full Hassan list, you're probably only going to run Delusional Poison. You're probably not going to run this. You're probably not going to run this. Like these are up for debate.
I think this has an issues.
Hmm?
Well, I think Azrael has an issues.
Yeah.
Burn decks maybe.
That one's fine.
But then yeah.
Well,
So,
I
yeah.
haven't really seen a mono Hassan deck used in a long while. I feel like they offer a large amount to other decks through Serenity, 100 Faces, Knives in the Dark team, that they kind of just make a good place for themselves, even at sea alone through that.
Yeah, I like playing Mono Hassan, but that's mainly because I like playing King Hassan. But that's about it.
Honestly, I feel like this archetype's kind of good, just because this exists. Having a searcher is always very nice,
Yeah.
especially with teams. I think Cursed Arm kind of sucks. Serenity is like fucking S tier unit. King Hassan is. I never run this, but it should be good. I just don't run this because I like the team more as their win con instead of this. Assassin of the Order is fine. The Delusional Poison. I mean, just get a free card and for the power. You still need both, but if you have it and you have this as an assist on a high HP unit, it's a very good skill.
I must admit, these days though, it's a little annoying that Zabania can be magic resist.
Yeah, that's like Zabania. I like Zabania, but that it can be magic resistant is so bullshit.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Like this, like the fucking entire win con of the team is Zabania, and then no, you just cannot. And you also have to still pay the mana for it. And Phantasmal Pedigree is okay. You probably still run it though because you have like 4 of these, and it's free power into the card draw, I guess.
Yeah, it's a very good card.
Yeah. Azrael is Azrael. Cursed Arm is fucking projection magic because we're not playing crit Cursed Arm.
Maybe
Delusional Illusion is a very interesting card, but I
It should be
don't
good.
know if there's too much use for it.
You don't run this with Hassans, I'm pretty sure, but you run this in like Doll decks and then you just put a bunch of 100 faces in and then you just play this. and then they just lose all of their actions when they start to attack us. So this team I've never used before because I'm not sure how I would build it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm trying to figure out something.
This team's kind of weird because you need to attack and then in cleanup you do a hit, but that would also mean that you actually can attack the enemy master. And and you also need to not die. And
well, I feel like this best use for this is for fight
probably
because this is effectively direct damage if you end the fight immediately.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one action for enemy takes one hit is pretty decent as things go.
Yeah. And this team is very good.
You don't talk about that.
But if your opponent has Saber, you die and you cry a lot. But if they don't, this team is very nice.
I would generally run this in Hassan Bonds decks. So you run like Bonds of Fate, this thing, and then you can just fetch it with no name.
Yeah,
right?
I guess that could work.
You just summon it, attack, get free damage. There you
I'm
go.
not gonna lie,
I think that would become a much better deck if we ever get a couple of more Hassan teams, which I'm excited to see.
I make no promises.
Honestly, the reason why this team is so good because the fucking key race skills are so good. Like I run my fucking team deck with this. I don't run any of these. Like I only run this and 2 of these, and the rest is all key race skills. And it works because this fucking thing either searches 100 faces or the team, so I always get what I need. Serenity is just good overall, and just 100 faces is actually kind of nice when you go first because you can just if you have an action which doesn't do anything anyway, you just do this because why not? And this also counters crit, which is very funny.
So,
and Death Blow is also a good skill. These 2 are also good skills.
I just wanted to add one more thing. I have been trying to do this with Waver at some point. It did not go well. So
I don't know why it would work well with Waver.
Because the goal was to stall long enough so you can kill them with this and conceal presence.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, if you wanted to combine it with anything, I think Mash would probably be the best person for it, because having these as options with it effectively means that you can just throw them at people and they just don't take much to any damage, and they just deal damage to the opponent.
Yeah, that actually does sound better.
That's my opinion if you're trying to run this not in a Hassan-only deck.
Yeah.
Nah, I would probably just run this like in an assassin pile deck. Like you throw some Kamas in there, you throw some Kojiros in there.
Yeah.
And then you just run people down.
Yeah.
So, where do we think this team lies on the tier maker?
I feel like Hassans are like B.
Yeah, I'm leaning to B.
They would be better. They would be a lot better if Sabania wasn't cucked.
I feel like they definitely deserve to be above Gilgamesh here because they simply add a lot to many, many other teams, especially
with at least A, maybe S.
I don't know about
S. Fine.
Not S, but definitely A.
Okay, I'll be gone for like 10 minutes now.
Okay, cool.
Right.
We can talk about Herc then. We can talk about the funny Unga Bunga.
Alrighty. Now we just need to call up Keeper.
God damn it. Okay, Herc. Okay, all I'm gonna say is I've been experimenting with Achilles, and that's all you need to know. Because Achilles being able to use archer skills and then being a 6-2 is interesting. Just finding.
Yes.
It's just the problem is he's a Wraith, so you can't really find good assists for him. So he's hard to splash, in my opinion.
He's super easy to splash. Like, if you have Archidas and like just 12 labels in your deck, what's the opponent supposed to do? Like, that's just either servant or master. They can't attack safely.
Yeah. Access to Archer and Avenger skills. He should be able to kill someone.
Yes.
Like, what can he safely Annihilation? If he's the master, and then like he kills them before he dies.
I mean, you can also like Annihilation, and then if things don't work, you 12 labors, and then discards Annihilation.
Oh, yeah, shit. Fuck me, yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm going to be honest, I really haven't seen Heracles run almost since like the start of the beta.
If you play against
He
Uchi,
seems very unpopular, but still very good on paper. 12 Labors can absolutely destroy entire decks on its own.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. If you play against Uchi, all they play is Greatest Hero, and I don't blame them. Greatest Hero just looks so stupid.
I feel like Son of Zeus is probably a very, very good card as well, but I just have never seen anyone ever touch it.
Oh, yeah, because I look at Son of Zeus and I go, wow, this is boring? Like, why
This is
would I
a
play...
703 card. Yeah, this is terrible.
Why would I play Son of Zeus when I could play literally Avenger, Archer, or Big Man?
You know,
What about Blind Man?
Or Blind Man? Ooh, ooh, don't tempt me.
was he nerfed?
No. I haven't touched this guy.
Okay. I've seen some really interesting thoughts on this with the Iris Veal Kuritsugu team, but otherwise I haven't really seen him.
You call those thoughts interesting?
I call those thoughts interesting, yes.
Okay. Sure. Let's leave it at that.
Yes, I am leaving it at that.
Early
no,
on in the game, this one was actually quite good. But I don't know about now.
Yeah, I just really haven't seen this enough to really think about it at all, honestly.
We need a Herc player.
Yeah, we really do need a hook player.
We're not talking to Uchi. Uchi just... No. I don't play enough Hurt to justify talking about it either.
Regardless, though, I feel like he is most definitively at a B, simply because he is very, very strong as a solo deck.
I'm gonna put him above D-Mute.
I think that is an accurate representation of events.
Wait, do we
Put
put
him
him
above.
above Anger as well?
I'll put him above Gil.
Because he does have a... He does have Euclides, which does take a better... Which I would argue takes better advantage of the Avenger cards than Anger.
Alcides is honestly a very good card to splash into multiple areas, and he is very, very strong.
Can we do a... So do you want to put Herc above Anger then?
Put him above Gil.
Okay,
But you guys do what you want to do.
We want you to give your opinion and thoughts, Kirsten, because
Yeah.
you're part of
I
this
do not
crew.
want that. My opinions do not matter.
So do you create the fucking...
Yeah, that's why they don't matter.
Now then, let's move on to Iskander, shall we?
Yeah. Oh, god damn it. You know, okay, yeah, just go. I'm just gonna say it now. Charisma is a good card. Moving on.
Do you want to click the button?
Oh, sorry. So anyway, Charisma is a good card.
Yes?
Maybe not in a Iskander deck, but it's a good card.
Even in a Scanner deck, Charisma is a good card.
Because I guess if it's not restricted, I guess so. Yeah.
Keeper honestly showed me that this deck was very, very strong once upon a time, but it has since been nerfed multiple times over. I haven't really seen him too often since then, but
Yeah. No.
I feel like he's very slept upon.
No. I haven't nerfed this deck a lot. I like decrease the power of this guy by 100, and that's it. And I guess I slightly tweaked this card, but it still works exactly the same way.
But yeah, much like Heracles, he's rather slept on. I'm not entirely sure why. And I'm
He's a
especially...
guy.
Because he's the guy?
Because he's a guy. Because
Oh,
all you fucking weebs are sexist against guys.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out something with Aspiring Warlord and Army of Dreamers, but it's not working out.
I feel like Hephaestion especially is very slept upon, but 3 class skills, Iskander skills, and a very, very strong effects, but I've just never really seen anyone use them, which is kind of strange to see.
Can we just play Scan and B and move on? Because there's a very interesting pick after this, so...
Well, I don't have any objections.
I don't have anything to say on this topic, to be honest. So... And Keep's not here.
Really, what we should do is pause the recording here and get Cooper back in, because Cooper has a lot of words to say on things that we don't.
Yeah, but I don't want to edit this, so...
I will play some higher. I will play some MA, at least.
Yeah, as a solo deck, he is very strong. You can... and multiple ways to play it at that, too. He facilitates army decks with Aspiring Warlord. The Great is... great.
The Great is designed to take advantage of providing, and I love that. But I do not want to take
I
advantage
do
of
admit,
providing.
though, Golden Rule really does let down the Rider Edition here.
Golden Rule has potential.
Yeah. Rider class just has like a card that single-handedly makes a deck work and gives you like 1,000 power on its own. And
Yeah.
Charisma is also like one of the better class skills in the game.
Yeah.
I do agree that it doesn't need to be good.
And don't worry, Golden Rule is gonna
Yeah.
get some uses fairly soon.
Yeah, I'm just gonna...
That's good to hear.
I'm not gonna lie. Riding is the reason why... Oh, sorry, Charisma is the reason why I think my Wave of Medusa deck works so well. So...
An unrestricted martial might is very good, yes.
Yes. It's stupid. I love it.
I don't know about stupid, but it is very
It
good.
is stupid. It tickles the right part of my brain when I use it.
Now then, since you wanted to move on to Jolter, let's move on to
Oh,
Jolter.
yeah, shit. Were we putting a Skander? B or C? B. I think B.
A.
Oh, okay.
Low A.
Okay, below song. Alright, Jolter, fuck, alright.
Go on then.
Okay, wait, you want to spawn the car so we can...
I already have them.
Okay, good. Alright, Jolter.
So, Kirsten, since you are the Jolter
Yeah,
expert,
okay,
why don't you
let's-
give us some thoughts?
Am I?
Can I just say this right
Yeah.
now? Why is this 0 actions?
Says
I still can't believe you nerfed her. I didn't even get to play a game where it was unrestricted with how much power you could get.
The fact that the fact Stray Cat is 0 actions is mind-boggling to me a little. That's all.
It's a good effect.
It's a good effect, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little too good.
That's pretty good.
It's a little too good.
Yeah. What are we saying? Just like put her in S and move on, right?
Is she as good as Ku? Come on, give us some thoughts here. I want to hear it, Kirsten.
I'd say she's pretty good.
Which card specifically? Is it the Grandement de Haine that you have renamed from FGO?
I have renamed this from
I took
FGO.
away the G from Reigns. We can't have shit in this game.
But what did I rename about Grandement then?
Remember it. It's Do.
Oh yeah,
D.
yes, it's
you're
not
gonna
do.
take away our
It's
E now as
grammatically
well?
incorrect. It's then.
First you came for my
yeah.
G's, next you coming for my E's. What's next? You're gonna take my damn I's?
I'm not taking your eyes. Don't worry.
Thank God.
Well, I at the very
I'm
least
not
will
the
talk
same,
about
no.
something that is rather side grade to the whole Jolter thing. That is Jolter Lily. I
Yeah.
recently played a game against Cooper where this was actually very, very strong in an Ishtar deck.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
milling up
Hilarious.
very quickly.
Yeah, no, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I tried to use this in the Vin Ishtar team. They're a little clunky, that's all.
It is very, very clunky. I love it though.
I do like the fact that you included the two. It's nice.
Yes, yeah, it is peak meme and I love it. Also, what the fuck? I hate draconic summonings. Anyway, yeah, I'm putting G on top of S. Okay. Let's talk about the...
I feel like Jan is definitely the queen of all ins at the moment with how Okita has been nerfed. With an unrestricted Grondiment, very, very good skills up here. And of course, Stray Cat. I feel like she definitely deserves a high spot. I don't know if it's quite S, but I suppose we'll see.
I'm putting in S. It is literally the Emiya of Faceless Supremacy.
What does that even mean?
Shiro Emiya, as in Kancho and Bakuya, I guess.
Yes, this is the Kancho and
guess.
Bakuya of decks.
You mean this year? The 5-1? The 5-1 is the Kancho and Bakuya?
Yeah! It might as well be! Jesus! Okay, right. What's after that? I forgot. Oh yeah, it's the Exodia deck, guys. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this. My brain is not wired for this sort of deck. It's wired for control, not weird old win cons.
For me, at least, I've watched Keeper try to make this deck and this team and this concept work from day one.
Yes.
And he just hasn't really managed it.
Well, what are you talking about?
Well, I don't know, I just haven't really seen him manage it. It was never very consistent.
I must disagree.
Then please, delve into your thoughts, Kesson.
It's I don't know. It's just like what I've seen from his decks. It works really well.
Yeah.
Does it not?
I mean, you have to also consider it can take advantage of True Courage, which is okay.
I mean, as I said, I haven't really seen him manage it very consistently, but I'd like to hear about your experiences, Kesson.
I mean, like, it's you're not getting a consistent Dress of Heaven deck, right? It's not really a thing. But generally, like a deck with like your little minions here, usually it does a lot of damage, especially when you have like red and yeah, it's usually quite powerful.
Admittedly, it doesn't stop Keeper from complaining about it every half patch, of
course
course.
Well, what does he complain about?
Well, the last thing that I recall really was trying to fit in Woven Death into the deck because it's definitely rather awkward to summon it from the enemy Grail and actually have it attack at the same time, and this also being forced.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes.
I really was not a fan of playing this. I'm sure Keeper would be happy to talk to you about it, though.
Like one of the best servants in the game, or masses in the game. This one, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, I think Scorch Villa with True Courage is a funny combo.
Actually, I am curious.
Yes.
If you do have Iris Field alone as your master, and then you say use True Courage or you just assist twice with Torch Return, can you summon two of them and attack with both
No,
of them
you can't.
immediately? Dang.
What you're saying is we can't spam True Courage with Scorch Villa? That's kind of stupid. Where's my funny?
I mean, you can. It's like
okay,
600
never
power,
mind.
but you
Ignore my
can't
stupid-
summon two of them.
Okay, thank God. Anyway, yeah. I think it has some funny potential with True Courage and Scorch Villa, but that's about it. Like, yeah, no, I'm if I'm thinking like this and this as a splash with True Courage in like a, I don't know, like a deck that wants to keep pressuring you, I guess.
Yes.
Before you go for like a big OTK, maybe, I don't know. It just seems clunky again, so. Huh. But yeah, no, that's all I got to say. Where we're putting it.
Well, we do not have a keeper.
Indeed.
Hello, I literally just got back.
Welcome back.
Alright.
We're talking about
Give us the Einstein tier.
the Justice.
Uh-huh.
Please tell us about the entire deck and your thoughts on it.
What's the Einstein tier? Where did it go?
I don't know. What is the Iron tier?
You're the expert.
You are the expert.
You're the
Talk
one
to
that
us
sat
about
enough
these
playlists.
cards.
I mean, I feel like in the beta test this was good, but since there's a lot more tools in general, the potential or the strengths of this deck is probably not as good as it used to be. So, yeah, I'd probably.
In the bin.
You're taking a look at the list itself, so you have like a relative perspective.
Yeah, maybe B, because it still can do some stuff, but that stuff is oftentimes countered by a lot of what the current decks can do.
Are you talking about magic resistance?
Yeah.
Partially, but also there's the issue of low hit count. Plus this being very, very hard to do, even though part of the Einstein gimmick is these three. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but if you take away these cards, then you don't actually have that many cards left anyway.
Yeah. I guess
So-
the prevalence of teams makes Aspers actually quite bad.
Yeah.
Because
There's
you
also-
usually run people down with Einspurn and just chip away. That's actually
Yeah.
quite hard to deal with, but
Even without teams, it's hard to deal with because if people just have servants up, if someone has a 3 health master and 2 servants, then you literally cannot kill that in one turn, which most other decks would be able to do.
Unless, of course, there's Ruthless Assassin, which cuts through all servants and attacks the very, very weak master in the middle. Which is another thing that I think diminishes this deck's value, unless you're running just these.
Yeah, TLDR, it was good in release when there wasn't as much stuff in the game, but the more stuff comes out, the more obsolete Einstein is.
Well, it sounds like we've solidly put it into B tier, so...
Yep, I just put it at the bottom of B for now.
Now then, I feel like we should skip this next one and go on to Kirei.
Oh, because Kuba's in back. Okay, sure.
Yes.
Right, Yeah,
I feel
got
like
nothing to say here.
I feel like universally, everyone agrees that these heroes, aside from Ruthless Assassin, have some rather bad effects on them, and they're rather hard to play around. The Last Resort especially seems to be not very good, to put it lightly. But on the skills front, he's pretty exceptional. All of them give power, he gets hit count and card draw, he gets assist removal, which is very good in this meta where there's lots of teams, and there's the rule breaker effect.
I'm not saying anything yet.
Well, I'd personally put him in low A. That's what I'd say. But
Okay.
that's my sole perspective, and with no one else speaking,
S. But
I don't really think I could put him on the same level as Ku, really.
I definitely could. Like, he has probably the best skill suite in the game, in my opinion. Like, what he can do, the type of power he can output, the way he trades with other abilities. This is just fucking insane. Then his stuff is fairly cheap. The bodies are okay-ish, but you can actually run them in many decks. He's super good, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay-ish is definitely a way to describe them.
Well, you don't really need incredibly powerful bodies or anything. Not with a skill suite like that.
I wish you thought the same way about Okita when she was released. Anyway, yeah, I'd be fine putting him in high A, low S at the moment.
Yeah.
Even if his teams are both a bit of a letdown, unfortunately.
I'm putting him above Victoria for now. Okay, Lancelot. Okay, this is one I really want to talk about because I have no idea what the fuck I'm supposed to do with this.
Hmm.
Like, obviously, you want to build around the Dulac Lancelot, but like,
Is that true?
because it's like, do you just don't tell me you're actually just playing the run two offs of every other Lancelot because based on the matchup you have to fight.
Well,
Yeah,
Keeper,
so-
you ran one for a little while, didn't you?
Every single Lancelot deck that I've seen has been like the Nemesis archetype. So you run K-Scope and like 3 copies of each of these. And then you just have an army of Lancelots and you beat people into oblivion because you hard counter them. That seems to be the way that I've seen almost every single Lancelot deck work. This I'm not sure. No, I've seen this before, but yeah, like going
I've
with
seen it a couple of times, yeah.
going with these 4 is usually what people do.
The strongest effect here is definitely the Black Knights, though. It's especially utilizing it for someone's glory. This can turn him into a 703, and the opponent doesn't get skill increases for the next 2 powers, which it's kind of crazy.
Mm. Hmm.
Not to say the other
the
one's
best one. He's definitely up there.
I feel like it's the best counter one, to say the least, because some mortal decks just don't care about assists, and
Most do, though.
most do, yes. And of course, Joyous Guard is, well, you actually have to be winning the fight to really, getting too much value there. Hell, some rates actually want to have low HP. I do feel like the actual weakest one, though, is definitely Mash and Lancelot.
Yeah,
Probably.
because. Mm-hmm.
I feel like the prevalence of perfect match has definitely been going down a bit. But against such teams, this is really fucking nice. It's effectively a 200 2-hit count swing. Effectively,
I mean, it doesn't really make sense to count the hit count swing per se, but yeah.
that's true. That's true. Generally, though, I think he's very good, but very isolated in terms of decks at the moment. I'd probably put him in B as a result. Probably top of B.
Yeah,
How splashable is this man?
I don't think he's splashable at all.
I mean, I've run this before, just like in a generic Saber deck, just having this in there, and it like works, ish. Right, so you like have a deck that's like based on what is it, martial skill and mana burst, right?
Yeah,
That
that's
sort
true.
of deal.
I feel like Dulac can basically fit into any Wraith deck if you just want someone that can frontline and deal 2 hits. Because turning anything into martial skill is pretty nice, and touch is good.
He's 4 mana though.
He is 4 mana though.
He's 4 mana though. That's a lot of mana.
It is.
But it's true. He can work, definitely.
Yeah.
Like your proxy.
And then, of course, there's fucking Knight of Ona, the best card in the game. Guns down every Okita. Assuming they didn't, put all of their hit count in crits, of course, which completely counters it. It really feels like the best. It's very, very good against Artoria, which is appropriate.
I want to see the day that this card does something.
Right now, though, it is definitely worse Black Barrel in a lot of ways.
This is not even anything like Black Barrel. Black Barrel is a win con. This is like a tech card.
I guess, but with a lot of masters being 3 HP if they're not teams, it definitely can be a win con if you, I don't know, say have fucking independent action on the board.
I'm very happy that people don't run it, so that way I can just keep killing people with Jolta.
Yep. Now we have Mash, also known as Shields of Humanity, can go in every deck.
Yeah, do we just put Mash in A because of shield?
Mash could go to A because of Shield immediately, but there are other parts of her kit which are valuable and we want to talk about.
I don't think she actually goes in every deck.
It doesn't need to go.
There's a decent list of decks where I've seen this played, and they end the fight, and then they don't have a way to protect her, and it just gets picked off, and they lose through Grail.
That's fair.
Yeah, but it's a good card. It's usually more for solo decks that don't actually play Servants, so they can't lose through Grail.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the rest of the kit? How do you guys feel about it?
Cooper has been cooking with Child of Chaldea. This thing can recycle crits. This thing can get back command spells. This thing is pretty good, and it also sets up for distant memory very, very well. But I haven't really seen anyone use either of these, so it's all kind of theoretical right now.
I have.
Well, how did it go?
It's mixed. Mixed.
Understandably.
What are thoughts about? Well, we should probably look at
of course.
Nax and Galahad Solo, right? Those are the two versions we have.
I do want to create a deck with Autonax because Black Barrel is a very, very fun card, but I feel like the main issue with her is that she doesn't really go too well with stall decks because they already have ways to negate hits, which means filling your deck with Camelots or Chalks doesn't really do you too well. After all, if you can just end the fight with a Fight Under, then you kind of just bypass the need for these. But, and her solo is interesting. Bunkerbolt can be a very good card, but it's not like you're ever really going to be running crit with her. Maybe if Black Barrel had a crit effect, that might be the case.
I mean, Bunkerbolt is basically, it depends on the mash you're running, right? If you're running this one, it's basically a better charisma.
Or martial
if you're running these, it's unrestricted, so it's a better charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're running these,
charisma isn't restricted either.
Yeah, charisma isn't restricted, but martial skill is.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like she's a little heavy with 4 mana. Kind of the same with these two as well, but it's understandable that they are this high.
Yeah, the idea is that there's a generic defender for your weenie decks. Right.
Yeah, I'd like to see her more often, but I do feel that she just goes straight up into A. With all of the utility she brings to the table.
Oh, yeah, sorry, oops. I'm just turning out now. Yeah.
Why don't we save the rest of this for another time then? Because Cooper's gone.
I said, I don't want to edit this, so. Well, it's fine. I just need.
Alrighty then. Let's talk about Medea then.
Yeah, and then we can do QA next if Cooper doesn't show up. No, I'm joking. Okay, fine. Medea.
Medea has a lot of places in a lot of decks. Colchis basically carries stall decks on her back, almost single-handedly at times. I feel like Witcher Betrayal doesn't really get much usage at all, but maybe it should, really. I don't know.
I'm gonna say now. I think Medea, but like if you want to build a deck around Medea, you don't. You use Medea to facilitate a different sort of deck.
I would have agreed with that before Kojiro
I
and
would
Medea.
argue this is more of a Kojiro deck than a Medea deck.
I don't agree.
I
First Magic and Rule Breaker exist.
but I feel like that's more Kojiro taking advantage of Medea's skills than Medea being actually useful.
I mean,
So useful.
this effect is great. She brings caster skills to and these skills. It's pretty 50-50, I'm gonna be honest. Between the two of them, Medea's skills are much more impactful than Kojiro's, in my opinion.
Like, you can't even, like, Saber Class this, right? Saber Class, what am I saying? Magic Resist this, right? Because, like, even if you block the discard, it's still a plus 300 power
Yeah.
card.
And it's not restricted, so you can just throw
It's
it
not
out again.
restricted. Yeah. So even in that trade, you just win with Rule Breaker.
Yeah, and if you have multiple magic resisted skills, First Magic suddenly turns into a very, very strong card.
It is kind of an issue, though, that, like, her kit is built around getting mana, and she has no outlet for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's like same with this thing. And how do you dump mana? Well, you either summon like the big guy,
Which
the tentacle monster.
there isn't really many big guys that she really likes to have in her team either, though. And if you summon the big guy, then he's just gonna die in like a ton with no support.
But you have a Holy Grail ritual, right?
The real mana dump, though, is Kojiro and Medea. Absolute Falsehood allows you to turn all of that mana into potential just complete card nullification with no counterplay.
We really, really need the Medea Saber team.
No, literally all you need to do is just make Charlemagne then, and then we're fucked.
No, I actually think a Medea Saber team would be fun.
Yeah.
Hell, you can even find one where she's wearing that dress.
Oh, please don't.
Counterpoint to Lonnie. If the Saber Medea team exists, you have to play against both Rule Breaker and Magic Resist in the same match.
Yeah, that would be fucking miserable. But if our Lord and Savior Kesem says that hero team needs to exist, I guess it needs to exist. Yeah, no, I'd put her straight into A. She's really.
I'll take the Lord and Savior, and we'll leave it at that.
I'm gonna put them above.
I had to actually vote for a second, so I didn't hear Lonnie's reply.
I'll put
I
them
just
between
Don't worry about
Emiya and Saber. Okay. Can we do Waver and Medusa together, like back to back?
Sure.
Right. Okay.
Especially since you are definitely the person who loves both of them immensely.
More because I am a filthy control player in Yu-Gi-Oh! I like my shitty control decks. So, right. So Medusa, I think Medusa is a case like Medea where it's more. I feel like Medusa by herself doesn't stand, but when used in conjunction with something else, in this case Waver, she is a lot better. Because don't get me wrong, Medusa has good cards to use. Like you got Cyberel, you got Veins, which is loopable.
But Medusa is mainly a support.
Yeah, she feels like she's like if there's a new package that facilitates control, you just test them out with Medusa immediately. Because Medusa's best tools are literally these 3 cards. Oh, and I guess also Bellathorn because you need some actual kill pressure.
I don't necessarily think that, but yeah, she's really, really good, and with her Sakura Medusa team, she can empower Sakura decks. She is exceptional with Waver decks. Easy Rider goes in any
Technician.
riding deck.
Yeah.
Loyal Protector has very, very good things where it can go. Black Serpent Haze, not quite so much, but it has its uses.
This probably has some use in Ishtar decks.
Yes.
But yeah, and then it's also Medusa is also the best user with Charisma. If you really wanted to.
I put her straight into A, personally.
Yeah, I want to put it in A, but I'm gonna do some CS downplaying when we get to waiver, so.
I do feel that Bellerophon and Blood Price are very heavily underused, but
Yeah, I read Blood Slice and I go,
the main issue is that she's just not very good with many Unga Bunga decks right now, so Blood Price is a little hard to utilize. And Bellerophon is...
How have you not yet played Blood Price with
Bellerophon.
Okita's thing?
Because
'Cause
you just
Medusa
don't
Akita
need that
doesn't
much
work.
strength. Like
Dude, you could
how
like
much
double your
overkill
doubled
do you
power.
need?
I don't know. I feel like Akita's best value comes from bluffing.
You can
but
do 800 times like 4 damage
Yes.
slot.
1,600 damage from Mumio, yes, but like, what's the point? They're already dead.
To send a message.
The biggest and ultimate messages.
Already. Then we get to see Waiver.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some CS downplaying.
Alright, I'm back. What the fuck is happening?
Shut up,
Welcome
it's my
back.
turn.
We're talking about Waiver.
It's my turn to talk.
Waiver?
I've been waiting for this
Waiver?
moment. Okay, I'm gonna do some CS downplaying. I don't care how good this card is, this card is, this card is, this card is, and this card is. I think Waiver overall is just dog shit.
You ignored his best skill.
Yeah, this is really fucking
This
good.
is
Let's be
insane.
honest.
This is completely insane.
I'm just gonna
King's
be...
Gambit is an insane card.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna say it now. Waiver is just really shit. Like, if you want to do anything.
Oh yeah, if you just cut out all of his skills and his order, he's a really terrible hero.
No, because here's
of
the
course.
thing, right? His best tools is literally facilitating Medusa, or you're doing that weird shit with relentless hotshots.
I
That
feel
weird
like
shit
he
with
can-
Relentless Hotshots is like a 503 and the enemy has no cards?
Yeah.
I don't think that's that weird.
He's
Okay, you know how many
facilitates
uses-
gimmicks
Okay,
or really
give me a
shit
sec.
stole decks.
Okay, so he does a lot of things. First of all, in aggro decks, this card is insane because let's say you give your opponents like 3 hits, and then if your last action you just attack with a shitty ass waiver into this, and they lose all the card advantage they gained from the hits you gave them. That's why I run this with I just run waiver in some aggro decks just to play this because they just lose all the card advantage they just got from taking hits. It's like the karma skill, but it's actually good. Then he also really works well with Kojiro because he can like prevent. These two are very good against skill use, and then your opponent can just do nothing against high ground, which is a very nice combo. This order and this is fucking. Your opponent wants to attack, he loses 2 cards.
Yeah, it's a fucking war crime.
Yeah. So
But
especially
being a
when you
Wolfman
run
deck doesn't
when you
make
run
you good.
waiver. When you run waiver just to play this, you can, and you have no order, you can also just slap this order in because it's, even if you don't have this one, it's just useful as fuck that the opponent just loses the card on the attack.
And
Then,
of course, the other waivers also have an immense amount of place. For example, recycling your hand is really nice, especially if you have no cards in your hand at the end of a turn. Recycling all of your assists can be amazing in certain Iskander decks. One action, I can look at your hand and discard heroes, is fucking insane.
Yeah, you hated the Zabania so much. Look at this, dude. You don't even need to form a team. You can do this 3 times. You just see their
Yeah.
hand, and then you just see what they have, and then you discard that one as well. They just have no assists anymore.
Cautious General is honestly the only one here which I would really call kind of questionable in its use. But
I don't know. I need to think
look,
too much
look,
of this. I don't play. This.
Kessim has been cooking decks with this, and I am happy and eager to see what he is going to make with this. Surely it will be something worth our time.
I probably. What's your best bet with this guy?
Hot shots.
Summon effects, I guess.
Just hot shots.
Is now like the main idea that I usually had with this is that you use. I mean, you can return himself, right?
You
If
could.
he's a servant, yes.
If he's a servant. Like generally, the idea is that you like pull back one of your servants, and then you have them in your hand, so you can attack with another characters and play them as an assist, and then draw their HP. Like that's like the main idea, right? You use them to facilitate all ends. I don't know what characters you would use that with in the current pool to its optimal effect, but it technically does work.
Unfortunately, the answer I'm going to say to that is that sounds like it would work really well with Okuta.
Cool.
Maybe with
Green
maybe
card
with
draw effectively.
maybe with the cheat Medea actually, where you just summon something from your deck and then you just draw 3 cards of this.
You
And
can cheat him out and then immediately pull him back.
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
true.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
That's two
And they're also
actions,
both a
but yeah.
caster and tactician, so yeah, that could work.
I guess that works.
Yeah, no, I'm confidently putting Waver into S though.
Like this skill is so nuts.
And I'm gonna be honest, he's
This
only
skill is
going
so
to get
nuts.
better. He's only going to get better as more control elements enter into the
You can
game.
even target yourself if you have like no cards. Like
This card is gonna be an issue.
What is even?
This card is really gonna be an issue.
Yeah, I'm
Probably.
looking forward to
We'll see.
strategic versus RGB being better, I guess.
I don't know.
More usable.
I just run the guy for this. I don't even
Yeah,
I don't
no.
even care
Yeah.
about the rest.
Fine.
Like, I played
Can
one
you
strategic
exceed your
reversal.
maximum? Can you exceed your maximum with this?
No way you can.
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
What the
right.
fuck? Yeah, no.
Your order just never turns off.
I will put him in S, jeez. I
Yeah,
failed
he's
to
very,
downplay
very,
my
very-
favorite deck.
Very.
I'm playing above.
Now! Now we talk about the one we've been waiting for and for Cooper to come back.
I'm happy you guys skipped Kirei.
You guys can talk about Kira.
Alright.
Take it away, Cooper.
So, should I talk about unlimited keys first?
Talk about anything you like.
Okay, let's go on them one by one. This dude I mainly use for teams because 4 HP, hard to kill when you don't have your team instantly. And the effect is, I wouldn't build a deck around this effect, but when it's when you can actually proc it, it's kind of nice.
I feel
Well,
like I feel like it lose the mana effect.
Yeah, the mana effect
hey,
holds a
no.
bit back. Yeah. Then Devil's Saint, you don't really run in Kirei decks. I feel like you run them in like different decks, like the fucking Jolter deck that Kersam has with the Angra, where you just this dude's the fucking other Angra, and then if your opponent kills them, you just summon them back. Like these good and these kind of decks. And then this dude can build like an entire deck around him with Muramasa, which is very funny. We just spam a shit ton of keys. And then also the funny thing with this dude is, if you form teams, you can play like, I don't know, 2 black keys, and then you form your team, and then they stay there, which is very nice. And also, if your opponent sabers your fight, and there you have another one, you can play it again, because this is also not restricted anymore. And yeah, the Heart of Darkness, you don't want to, this is your win con, you don't want to run a lot of these because self-it, but you can like run one, I guess. This one I didn't use that much, but if he transforms, he's kind of insane. And but if he transforms, but if your opponent if your opponent plays like a one master army, it's not that useful. But even then, yeah, the effect can do sometimes something. Actually, something I could maybe try is with giving your opponent a weak ass servant, and then you just run them over with this with the Elia order. But
I'm not sure it'd be quite as valuable as Seeking Purpose, though.
Cooper,
yeah,
you don't see the real dream with this guy.
what's the real dream?
You know, if you play him,
Mm-hmm.
and you go first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have the new Casgel as well. And your opponent is dumb enough to play a 1 HP master, you just win the game.
It's a non-lethal hit,
It's
though.
not lethal.
It's not lethal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not lethal, never mind. I'm an idiot.
Fuck? Read your own
The
comments,
only person that
person.
can currently deal a lethal hit to masters through effects, I believe, is Demon King Nobunaga.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, this Kirei is very good, even the non-Kirei decks, because a lot of people run more team decks, and he just fucking murders them. And even in general, like cutting off servants assists or like cutting off assists can prevent for your opponent from playing skills, and then they just sit there and like go, huh.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And it can effectively be plus 200 as a result.
Yeah, like I like this one a lot, and you can also have the fucking skill where you can get 2 mortal assists from your grave, and then you can pull this, and then you get like a plus 200 power swing. Even more if your opponent has like the fucking Artoria assist, for example. Black keys nice, especially when you can play a lot of them, because if you need power, if you need damage, you get damage. If you need power, you get power. This is disgusting because it's a fight ender.
Guys, impartiality is so fun. I love it so much.
Yeah, because it unlike Conceive Presence, you can do this mid-fight, so you can bait your opponent. It's doing a lot of shit, and then you're like, okay, I'm ending the fight.
I remember doing that to you, Cooper.
Yeah. And Act of Treason, also a very good skill. Like this, what I mainly do with the Muramasa skill, where I just get Muramasa and this dude, and then I just search out this. Like he searched out his own death, which is very funny. And yeah, it gives you card advantage because you get the hits in your hand from your master. It gives you power, and if your master is like low HP, you can just replace him. And you can also do some funny stuff with teams, where you just replace your fucking shitty ass master with an entire team, which is very funny. Out of Darkness, it can kill your opponent when he has no deck. It's very funny. And other than that, it's nice when you know what your opponent's top deck is. With like, I don't fucking know, with the 100 Faces Sabania or the Jolter Lily shit, for example. Because then you just know you give them a shitty ass card. But other than that, Heart of Darkness is 400 is quite an amount, but yeah, draw card is always a bit risky.
Mm-hmm.
The teams, this one, I'm not sure. Like, I tried running this, and having low hit count, I mean, you have high hit count when he has less HP, but when you are less HP, it's more risky, you know? So, yeah, it's a bit of a... Probably like... I mean, but even then, you still have this. So if you're about to die, you just... Peace out. You just hope you don't die to random ass, oh, you take a hit. Shit. This one, yeah, we talked about this one too. Just make sure that you have something that can actually tank the hits, and this is not your only dude, because if that happens, you just die against a lot of decks.
And then we come to the star of the show.
Yeah. So this dude is, yeah, I talked a bit about him in the Sans, but if you attack with this, and you get Zabania off as your first action, and your opponent doesn't prevent it, you most likely win the fight completely, because you just take the most important cards in the hand out, and then you don't get a lot of power with this, but you probably don't need to if you discard 2 cards from your opponent's hand. But it also means that your opponent did not negate it, and that you were first. And yeah, but you can. The good thing about this team, which puts this about of these 2 teams, is that no name exists, so you can you don't have to run shitty ass command seal. You can just run the fucking no name.
It also has access to 2 fight enders, Conceal Presence and Geyser Impartiality.
Yeah, I mean, I usually don't run Conceal Presence because I have this, and I don't need that many fight enders. And also nice thing is that Assassins of the Order lets you discard this team, and then you just get it back when you actually want to form the team, so it doesn't take up card space. And with you... Yeah, it only has 1 hit count, but you have black keys, and you can also just run the order with where you just get free.
Match, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this team very nice, but if your opponent negates it, you very cry. Yeah.
Now then, with all this in mind, where would you put him on the tier list?
I didn't even see what you guys put the other stuff in. Jolter S checks out. Mesh A. Medusa A, interesting.
Mostly because she facilitates other decks, really.
Probably better than Kiritsugu.
Yeah, I definitely think that he is at minimum. The
I'm
top
kind
two.
of shocked that Medusa landed an A, honestly.
Yeah, same. I mean, I wasn't there while you guys did that, but yeah, I would probably put Kira like low S, high A.
Why is she above Emiya? Never mind. Let's just go on.
I mean, Garrus, when we're done with this, you can like question everything and we can replay
Yeah,
stuff, you know?
No. I don't care. I also shouldn't have a say in this.
No, you should. What do you mean?
No.
Like, as I said, I
My
wasn't
opinion
there.
is the one that matters the least.
I wasn't there when the Medusa discussion happened, but I would have probably put her like low B, honestly. Like,
It's
Bella Fawn
the
kind of sucks.
DXD's decision.
Like, Medusa herself, just like I feel like Waver's the only deck where Medusa actually does something.
Medusa Sakura is very good.
I guess with the once per game negate Sakura and the T, kind of nice.
Yeah. Now
But
then,
yeah, I wouldn't put her so high. And Iskander, I don't know, I never used that guy before.
but we're talking about where to place Kiro.
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah,
put him so
Kirei,
far as to go into S? Is the real question.
I think we can put him low S. Very nice tools, and you can literally splash the fucking Mortal Assist in every single deck, and it will do fine.
Finally, we're finally getting to the part where I actually have a horse in this race. No, but
Now we have the best card in the game, Giant Mini Nobu.
Okay, yeah, that's alright.
Yeah, you can have 3 of those at the same time. Just like the full board.
Let's just say
You can have an yeah.
I'm gonna
The
say,
team needed 3 different Nobus, right?
3.
Yeah, 3 different ones, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna just say Nobunaga is carried by Nobukatsu.
Yes.
Yeah? Good. Alright,
That's,
good. I'm glad we
after
established
school.
this. Alright, now let's talk about why 4Y is the actual master of this deck. Because hear me out.
Well, go ahead.
Hmm. You don't see
I'm
this?
not hearing you.
You don't
I'm not seeing what you're putting
No,
down.
I'm not seeing it either.
What do you mean? You get Nobunaga to 1 HP with assist of Contempt Incarnate. Then you have Nobukatsu on the side. Then you have like a huge fucking master that fights, which also burns. You also still have access to Papyrus and Beyond Aeons.
No, you don't have access to Papyrus if you have 1 HP.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
nothing easier than getting Nobunaga to 1 HP.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
and then
have-
your opponent plays.
That
and then your
goes
opponent-
real fast.
And then your opponent plays this, and you're dead.
Yeah, you can
Yep.
use these 2 on the side. And you have Beyond Aeons to help. And you have 3,000 words if you really need to.
I don't know. I'm not really seeing it. This fight effect doesn't really seem that strong to me.
Well, it's
So
better
the
than
thing-
using this as your master.
I feel like this is underrated, honestly. Like, if you have this, you actually can kill stuff with this. Which is
You know
very,
what's
very...
actually underrated?
What?
This guy. This guy over
Yeah,
here.
I know, but it's like
Because he gets 2 fetches. And he can fetch both skills, he can fetch Nobus, and he can fetch the team. So
Yeah.
if you want to run this, you just set up this, you attack, and then you attack again, and you already have all your components ready. And you
no name on crack.
I feel like with K-Scope, these 2 are a massive, massive menace. But the real issue is actually being able to defend them.
Yeah, that's gonna be rough, placing these.
The issue is that you kind of just run at them and then you kill them because they have access to 2 power skills.
Honestly, you might be able to, even if you don't want to run any Nobus, just in the random S aggro deck, you can probably get away by just putting this in. Because you can do damage before you can even attack with this. It's kind of nice. Because you can just, on your second turn where you don't do anything, you can actually do damage now with this.
It's okay. I mean, it's like a card your opponent has in addition. So
Yeah,
you need
and,
something to back it off,
yeah.
usually. Like,
Sure, but it's also a deck where you want to deal damage. 1 damage for free is very valuable. Also, yeah, as I said, Demon Archer enables Papia skills, which are not mortals, because you just deal 2 damage with this. It's very nice. Yeah, this Nobu is run in a lot of decks, even in non-Nobu decks.
Yeah, Nobukatsu is probably the best card in this entire deck.
And also, like, it gives plus 400 with Nobus, so it's fucking 900 base power, which is scary.
Yep. Makes mini Nobus very fun too.
3000 worlds is very good against teams, but then again, you need to make sure that
You're
this,
winning the fight, yes.
you don't die to this. Well, it's a funny thing that Kerosib did was when you have this team out, you have access to Avenger skills. So if you have Oblivion Correction with this, you actually deal a lethal
Yep.
hit for free, which is very good. And this thing is fucking disgusting with the Dartoria.
Yep. King of Ashes is very fun.
This one should also be kind of good with, especially when you have stuff like Touch where you get plus 700.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I just feel like passing is such a valuable maneuver in this game.
Yeah, and Into the Heavens is a bit of a meme.
Yeah, I really wanted to make that work with when Okita first came out, but I should have just like run the real good.
And honestly, this team, I feel like you're better off either just go full Okita or full Nobu. Not
Yeah.
both of them.
I really don't think that this team. It doesn't deserve to exist. It should have been stillborn.
Holy shit, dude.
That's a comment and a half.
It's not that bad. What the fuck? Who hurt you?
Who hurt Giovanni? Doesn't deserve to exist.
I'm sorry. It's just,
Hey,
I just don't do either of the things.
but they have magic resistance.
I mean, if you
They do?
really need magic resistance on these skills, I guess that's fair. But I don't know. At that point, you may as well just get good and use Mind's Eye.
Just get good.
Yeah, just get good and call the cards.
Okay, I think I don't know. I don't know
I think
I don't use Nobu.
Yeah,
I'd put them in C personally, but they probably
Yes.
deserve to be in.
Put her
Oh?
in C.
Yeah.
Slap them in C then.
You
Yeah.
guys just don't see the vision, I swear.
Slightly above Medea. I'm not Medea, Medusa. Should also be down there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, no.
I have no idea what she's doing up
Yeah,
there.
no. You guys just don't see the vision. You guys just do not see the fucking vision
Well,
I have before.
Okay, I was not here. Let's explain to us why Medusa's up there.
Oh no, I mean no, I wasn't talking about Medusa. No, I was talking about fucking.
Yeah, but you put her in A, right? So you can explain, right?
For me, it's really just because she has such a good splash in control decks. It's like these 3 cards just carry her. And then I guess I said this, and then you also
This,
account
this
for
goes
the
in the
fact that
2
Easy
HD
Rider
armies. This goes in riding decks. This helps Sakura decks.
Oh yeah, and I must say,
This goes in Avenger decks.
I was also very sad that I was not here when we talked about Medusa because I wanted to rant on this card.
Go ahead, do it. Do it right now.
Why does it lose the power? Just let her keep it. What the fuck?
Well, it loses the power because it says right there
Yeah, but you just
that
make
while
it fight.
see, like that's that's
Okay,
why.
you just changed the word while to win.
No, not when. That's also incorrect. It should be if in that case, but it doesn't say that, so it doesn't
Yeah.
do that.
Well,
That's
The
because-
question is more, why isn't it like this? Not why is it written like this?
Yeah,
I
because,
know, Lani, I'm fucking with it.
but because okay, look. Let's think about it. If you attack with this and your opponent has cards in his hand, then they can defend anyway. You know, then it's not a big of a deal that she has more power, because the opponent has the cards to defend it anyway. It's not that bad, you know.
Yeah, I don't really quite get it. Its purpose right now. I don't.
There's a lot of
Tough.
decks where I wanted to throw her in, but I'm like, okay, but what prevents my opponent from just using the cards? And now I just played the 302. At that point, I can just use the fucking
How
slap
are you using her?
as a. Wait, what do you mean? How am I using her?
Yeah.
Because like, what role are you trying to use her in that she can fulfill?
I mean, she has 2 hit counts and Lancer, you know.
Yeah, 2 hit
And it's
count,
cheap.
Lanza, you just drop her as a. You're not playing her as a master, right?
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah, of course, yeah. You just have it like as your like side pitch, and then you swing at your opponent and you poke him for like 1 or 2 damage, depending on what you get, right?
But how are you
Or
doing that with 300?
You have what do you mean? You have 500.
But then what prevents my opponents from just using the cards?
If they use all of their cards, the Medusa dies. You draw the cards, and you have card advantage, and then you swing with your main dude, and then you win. Right?
It's a very optimistic way of looking at it, especially
Yeah.
if they're the one attacking, because then they just drop the ball.
I've played with this card a lot. It usually does fine.
I would just run the fucking Sakura 302 at that point.
Well, either way, let's go to the Queen of Broken Kneecaps.
Can we just put her an S and
Just
call
put
it?
it in S and we can leave. We don't need to discuss this. But there, she can get right next to Jean.
She goes above John.
I don't think
Walker.
he's like game breaking because critical hit is still not the most consistent thing
Okay,
in the
good.
game, but she's definitely yes.
She's just generally the. What? You can't even let me speak a bit on this.
We don't need to. We all know it.
I'm assuming at least that someone watching this may not know.
Well,
Otherwise,
they're gonna
we're
look at
making
this
a
and go,
video.
"Wow, this is busted."
Okay,
If they
okay,
have, like,
someone
half a brain
will
cell.
watch the video and it's gonna be like, okay, why is she so good? So yeah,
no,
go
if
ahead.
they have half a brain cell, they'll look at this and think, "Wow, this is busted."
I mean,
It's,
this the
it's
only
like
one who's
sort of okay.
I mean,
the
I'm
only-
gonna be real. Kesem had to nerf her twice over, so you
I
can't
didn't
really
really
say
have to.
you didn't really have to. But I mean, who wasn't requesting it at that point?
I mean, honestly, in their entire existence, the only card I ever minded was this one. I don't mind any of the other Okitas, just this one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like this one is fine because this one gives you more crits, but it doesn't actually give you something for the crits. You have to get it from the skills, which is why I think it's fine. And this one is funny for other decks which are not Okita. So I like this card actually. Fucking Dion with crit, I have this
Yeah,
thing.
that one's pretty funny.
Yeah, it also gives you crit effects on characters who don't even have crit effects. It's very funny.
So, what about this one? You didn't find this one offensive?
Doesn't Okita like spam this one the most, and that one's not restricted?
I mean, you always want to be playing with Aijutsu whenever you fight. Shuichi is very, very
But the
strong.
fact that this
Yeah,
is
this one-
restricted is a recent thing. It
This-
used to be
this-
any skill, remember?
It used to be any skill, yeah.
Or any Okita skill.
I
So
see.
you just do this.
It
And then
also
This is 400 power and get and draw a card.
They also
Or it
used to have a better crit effect as well.
Yes. They used to give hit count on crit as well.
Yeah.
So this
Now
is by
it's
far the
basically
best
draw
card in the game.
2 cards, right?
Oh no, you can only draw 2 extra cards.
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
pretty good.
bad.
It's not bad. It's good. It's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yes, exactly.
Anyway, to put a long story short, she's kind of the queen of aggro right now, but she's not very reliable thanks to needing to have a crit to kill people.
Yeah.
It's generally a dice roll, and if you roll better than the opponent, then you win, and if you don't, then you most likely lose.
yeah,
and that's
I'm
okay in
fine
a
with her
nutshell.
place in the game, honestly.
I'm fine with it now after a lot of things have been nerfed.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, put her in S though.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
did that.
don't-
Right, moving on, Vin.
The only thing I'd say is magic resistance. It's still
Go
enabled
for
a bit
MB.
too much.
It's fine.
Okay, Rin. Tosaka Rin. I love this. Wait. I love this card. I left this on so many decks. But even after the nerf, I like it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's busted though. But I like it.
3 cards was kind of busted.
Yeah, 3 cards was busted. I also run this in some decks because on some decks where I will need to get the mana, it's better to just use this if I don't have a lot of
Yeah.
servants.
Medea also assist also works, but this one's a bit more reliable in that regard.
I like Ishtar mainly because this is not restricted, so it's kind of hard to punch over her when you have a lot of cards. Yeah. I have like a Utro Cardo deck with her, which I really like. I barely use Eresh though. I only use her in the Artoria Deermood thing, where you just play a bunch of heroes and then you can recycle them to get the power of Death with her. Gander is a good skill. Gander, very good skill.
I do feel Resh is a little definitely worse than their counterpart, unfortunately.
Like
I
with
like a Resh
Erish,
more than
there's
Nesh.
I feel like there's like a certain type of deck that we just haven't built yet with Erish that just works because you usually see like this with, as you said, with like Ku, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to. Like you're gonna win the mill outs if you just resolve this once. You don't have to run the small Ku, right? So you can run something completely different. Just have this in there. And
Yeah,
see where that leads you. That's a fairly open deck idea.
you can probably also do some funny shit with this when you have a lot of attacks. When
Yeah.
you just attack with like these low power, high hit count cards, and then you just have a bunch of these out.
Iskander
with a
could
big
be
coup,
very
right?
interesting with it.
Yeah.
With
But
the 2 attack coup.
The main issue is like having 3 of those in your hand and like being able to actually do that sort of thing. But yeah,
The coup can attack twice with it. Very nice. And they're also both lancers, so
Yeah.
I like Formal Craft also.
Formal Craft is fucking great. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Don't
feel like
wanna
this
talk
team
about
is
it
a bit
if I hate it.
underperforming though, honestly.
I saw some once Karism do the deck with this and Kama, and I tried to recreate it, but nah, it doesn't work because fucking. Okay, let's say you have one of these. Like that's because the idea of Kama is that you just play the you give your opponent cards and then they mill, and then you play the Kama skill, so they discard down to 3, and then you draw that many cards and shit. But the issue with that is that let's say you have Ishtar, you call Kama as an assist, you have 2 HP, and then you form a team with that, and then you have like fucking 2 HP Ishtar Erish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you will have to win that fight. Which
Yeah.
honestly you might because you're playing Ishtar and Ishtar is quite good at winning fights.
Assuming you have the cards, but yeah. Considering you had to form the team, you need to have 2 of your 5 cards already set up. Which means you better have Formal Craft there, because otherwise you're not having too many cards.
To be honest, I would rather run solo Ishtar or solo Erish.
Yeah,
I'd rather
the
run
problem
solo
with
Erish,
Formacraft is that you lose the bonus power as soon as you form the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we have Sisters Reunited.
I like this team. It's a lot better than the Shiro one, I think.
I do too. I think that team is
Substantially
neat.
better than Shiro.
Yeah, like even if you don't, you can just fucking if you take a orderless, you can just run a random ass what is it called the one that you play teams, and you just throw a bunch of these in, and then you just place it as the unit. Like then you have 2 HP, you have 1 more card in your opponent's turn, which is very nice. Yeah, this one. I run this in my Kama Parvati deck actually.
There must be a list at some point with Bonds and Cheat Medea, right? We just play this shit, or like the Hassan team.
Yeah, and then you pay from your deck. But the issue of that is that you're very danger in being deck out when you play, when you get so much mana from your deck.
Fine, it's fine.
I'm not sure about that one. But yeah, I actually run this in my Kama Parvati deck, and does very well there.
Then we have the Triple Team, which...
You play this, this card existence is carried by Command Seal.
Yeah. Being able to actually manifest command spell into a plus 200 is very nice.
Yeah.
I feel like there's some untapped potential with this, with using it with Karma so you can get Ashes consistently, but
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
the issue of, I mean, I was trying to do that, but this being a 3-part team kind of kills the Kama Parvati thingy, which is very sad.
And you can't just use 2 Karmas for this, right?
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm waiting for the 2-character Parvati team to actually play Kama Parvati together properly.
Relentless Hotshots, very good. Has immense synergy with Waver. Nothing
Yeah,
else really
you
to play
probably
on it.
run the fucking Pot of Greed rinse anyway in Kudex.
Yep.
Just don't forget that if you actually play the Pot of Greed rune, you cannot form this. So yeah. And we already talked about this one.
Yeah. Now we
Overall,
have one of the
Overall,
more
where
do we
interesting
put her?
monsters.
where do we put her?
Going to be.
I feel like this card alone carries her a lot.
Yeah,
Honestly, she
So
might also.
difficult to evaluate because, like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about a Rin deck, or are we talking about the fact that like you put these cards into basically every deck?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's.
And then when
I mean,
if
I
you
think the
play-
overall impact of Rin. I think
What's the metric here?
And then if you actually do play Ren deck, you're either building around Ishtar
the metric
or
is the overall impact of the character on the game. I think.
Yep.
Like,
Fucking A then.
like-
Shit.
Like we put Kirei in S also because the fucking Kirei assist you can put in a lot of decks to just
Yeah.
card counter some
put
shit.
them just below Mash, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we put Rin in like also in S mostly.
Not in S. I don't agree with that one.
But Pot of Greed is so good. Like Karen said himself, you run this in every single deck. Like at that
Like
point,
one
you
of them usually. Like at
Yeah.
least you don't have to, but you can definitely slot them in.
If I go
mostly
through my
resistant
deck list,
by
I
them.
either run this or this. There's like barely any decks where I don't run any of these, and I think that
That's
alone
true, but
puts her in S.
then all of these cards kind of just don't show up anywhere other than the decks that they're
I
present
mean,
in.
I run Gander when I run these.
You have a Gander in almost every single deck.
Not in every. Sometimes depends on how many of them I have. Transformer Craft's also nice when you run these. Yeah, I would say these. I would put her in S honestly.
As you two like, I don't mind.
Like these two are a bit too important to not be in S honestly.
Then let's look to the sister, shall
Especially when we put Waver in S.
Yeah, I don't have a horse in these last two, so you can go off.
Sakura. Hmm.
I'm gonna say it now. I do want more Karma support.
only having one skill, which is basically a worse waiver skill, is kind
Yeah,
of
No, he
rough.
technically has two because you got Burning Cosmos as well.
It's not. Yeah, but you don't have to run it with Gamma. But you should.
I kind of just want more Karma cards. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, the thing is, the issue with Burning Cosmos is that it's more of a Parvati skill because you need Ashes of Karma on the person to make it useful.
Honestly, I feel like these two skills will be good when Parvati and Karma actually have a team that can form together without being three.
Yeah.
And until
If
that happens,
something
these are kind of
exists-
dead.
How many
Yeah.
Sakuras do there have to be until you people are happy?
Well, you know me.
It's-
I hate
okay, no,
Sakura. I
a
just want more
Parvati-
Karma cards.
A Parvati with anyone. It doesn't need to be another Sakura. A Parvati with a 2-character team, so you can actually do this. Parvati needs a 2-character team for this to work. I mean.
Okay, sure.
You know
As for your
me,
question,
I don't
Keston, do you consider BB a Sakura?
Yes.
Then at least a couple more.
Yes, I know.
Please, actually, don't listen to them. Don't give us more Sakuras.
That's why I'm so down on the idea of having more Karma support, because there's gonna be BB and there's gonna be all of the Sakura 5, maybe.
You should probably put BB in their own category because
Probably.
because there's alter egos that are theoretically like BB as well, which
Yes,
it makes a lot more sense for them to be in their own category.
maybe. I don't know.
Sakura, the most
Okay,
popular
one by one. Shadowcaster. I haven't really seen the deck yet where I really want to run this. I don't
They
know.
seem very niche. Little unfortunate.
Yeah, they seem a bit niche. Parvati, as I said before, it's okay, but kind
He's the
of.
mainstay of all Sakura decks for the moment, and understandably.
Yeah, she's waiting for a team.
Nah,
I
she's
like-
not.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, I think she is.
I hate
Usually,
Yeah, that one is very good.
this one.
I suppose
yeah.
so. I just feel like considering that you need your opponent to like get value out of you need your opponent to do shit to get value
Yeah.
out of things. This really fucking helps, Mother Goddess.
All
Oh,
right.
that's true.
Now this Sakura is I run in some non-Sakura decks actually because it's kind of quite useful actually.
Yeah,
To
she's
get,
another mortal support, which does
Yeah.
its job decently well.
I have this one in a bunch of aggro decks because if you cannot go for Grailwin and probably don't want to, then you can just discard it Like, and if it's then you have like a what? Most cases 600, 700 with 2 hit counts. And
Yes.
then you have negates too, so if your opponent tries to catch up to you, you just kill him. So
Yep.
yeah, I really like the Sakura.
Karma
Then-
we talked about.
yeah, I have so many decks with Karma. And honestly, like as I said, I don't think this functions yet, but just running her in like assassin decks as a 2 hit count for 100 gives her a use, which is
I
nice.
feel like her value is going to escalate as the game goes on. She's someone that really feels like she's going to get better.
This ability is gonna get more useful probably, yeah. And yeah, as I said before, I don't really like Realm of Love, but it is what it is. This Sakura's I think very nice, especially when you have this team, because now you have a big body and I don't know, one of these useful
Two
Medusas
uses as well.
with a once per game. Actually reminds me, if you use this and form the team, can you use it again?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Which means theoretically, in one of the if the fight is do or die, you can cancel 2 skills in the same fight.
Yeah, Koopa, hover over this card.
Huh? What?
Hover over the card.
Sakura and Medusa. Oh wow! Okay, you actually use
Yep.
We
hover
have
effect.
Mm-hmm.
FAQ text on cards.
But yeah, otherwise,
Interesting.
she's decently good. I feel like Imaginary Abyss is a very strong carrier for solo Sakura decks. I
I
can't really
never
imagine
use
without
this
them.
order. I don't even use it in the Sakura deck. I just use the fucking team thingy for this.
No, that makes sense, since you do use the team.
Yeah. I feel like it's hard to pull off if you don't mulligan, and if you mulligan, you're at the risk of deck out. But it's fine if you
Sure.
get it off.
It is otherwise a better perfect match, which does apply to teams too.
Yeah, Trishula Shakti. I don't even think I run this on my Parvati deck. Because Omena
It's-
400 isn't.
It's kind of bad, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Parvati kind of doesn't. I don't even think she wants this honestly.
Well, the main thing about them is that you prevent other people from getting power with Void Space and Forbidden Feast, rather than necessarily hitting the biggest power yourself.
Yeah, that's like one of the main things with Sakura. Is that also she's very matchup dependent too, because
Yeah.
I played a lot of games against fucking Garrison's Jolter deck, and I have this out and like 2 negates,
Yes.
and Garrison just passes and I die. I cannot do anything. I like
Yep.
in a lot of cases Sakura needs the opponent to do something to even do something, and that's why. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like-
Or
what-
well, one of the
What?
best uses for Sakura is to have her as a support somewhere in a deck with an actual carry, and then
exactly. Like I run the Kojiro deck where I run Karma, so I can use Void Space to prevent them from countering High Ground. I run Karma and Void Space in another deck, which I forgot. But yeah, just you don't even need to run Karma. You can also just run a bunch of these and then some of this. When
I think
gets to
putting
use-
her ultimately into the top of B or into A is the best choice for her.
I think next turn makes the most sense.
I think her value is going to escalate as the game goes on, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna put
Especially
above
with Karma.
mid for now.
Honestly, depending on what content Kirsten brings out, this could also get worse because we could get more things that actually need specific stuff to copy and a lot less no requirement cards in the game.
Maybe,
we'll
maybe. Either way, it's still a removal, so
Okay, the last one.
I have seen Kesem play Void Space too many times without having the mana to copy AS or Excalibur or otherwise.
And then
Today.
you play Void Space and then you get the magic resisted. Okay. Cool. Okay, time for the Saber who doesn't have Saber class.
Well, see, there is one thing about him, that Swiftblade, you can't end fights with him.
Yes, but if you run a Kojiro deck, you carries one of these two.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you play this guy like in an assassin pile, not in a Kojiro
Yeah.
deck.
Okay, honestly, I never run this card. I feel like it's a meme. But
Hey, this actually got improved.
and
Yes.
it still
Yeah,
doesn't
like
seem good.
you had to use it at the start of the fight or something like that before you played.
You had to use it while you had no skill set.
Yeah. So you can theoretically utilize this at the end of a fight now. Why you would, I still don't know, but you can.
Like maybe
But fortunately, this doesn't stop him from having 3 cards which actually have power on them, so
Okay.
it's fine.
I don't like this skill, but this. If you like high ground, and if you have any support, it prevents the opponent from playing skills like Sakura or Waver. High ground is very oppressive.
It's great.
Also, just slapping this can you can bluff your opponent. Like you just slap this first, and then your opponent doesn't know if you actually have the support to back it up, and doesn't want to pass because then you get more hit count, can actually kill him. So they just get scared. It's very funny. But yeah, and then there's also Elegance, which is just power and draw, which is nice.
And then, of course, a very, very good team, as we discussed before.
Yeah.
And
deserved nerf.
Deathblow, very good too. Very good.
Yeah. Deathblow goes very well with Kojiro because he already plays around having more skills than his opponent with this. And they go very well together.
And he does like the hit count.
Yeah. It's just what can happen with him if you run if you have a hand of these and the opponent just has a bunch of skills and negates yours, then it's kind of rip. But also respectively means that it counts for each opponent, right? For each character in itself, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Nameless Swordsman definitely is the highlight of the bunch, but Fake Assassin definitely has a lot of uses. Maybe not a lot, but
can have
especially
like
with blue
7
under.
hit count.
Yeah, then the fight just gets ended and Lamau.
Yeah, like all of these have a use though. Like these ones are like for Kojiro carry decks. This one's like for fucking team meme decks with the fucking order.
I feel like Inhuman Skill's that good? I feel like Nameless Swordsman outpaces it by far.
I like both. I think in my Kojiro carry deck I run 4 of these and 3 of these actually.
I see.
But both are good. Both are valid.
Well, this one is definitely good into the fucking assist decks, that's for fucking sure.
Yeah. I've seen this one used a lot in waiver decks, which I could see, because 503s, you don't like to attack that.
Yeah.
Especially not with your master, because suddenly you're dead.
Him being 2 mana is also really kind of crazy.
What is with the fucking... I love that he has 0 crit support, and then we have just this.
It's something, alright.
Yeah, and then, and this, as Kersu said, in Assassin pile, it's useful.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that Restoration didn't take away from the fact he still has 3 damage skills.
Yeah.
It would be very annoying if it...
The only issue is like with Kojiro that he kinda dies to fight enders and there's no way to prevent it.
Unless you're Kojiro and Medea, of course.
Yeah.
Just call Shield of Humanity Mash 5 times in a row.
Oh, whoops. Because as I said, yeah, it's like Saber without Saber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Either way, that appears to be the tier list. I believe we can go ahead and put him into probably into A.
Oh, I mean,
Okay, let's have a look.
I mean, he can't really fit into any other decks very easily, so if that's...
Yeah, he's like where Artoria is probably a bit worse because he doesn't actually have a way to end fight enders. Like, prevent fight enders. I would say slightly worse than Artoria, probably.
Now then, does anyone see any glaring issues with this tier list that they would like to fix?
Yeah,
no, it's 100% flawless. I gotta go. See you guys.
See you, Kasim.
Oh, well,
Okay,
that's
let's
my
continue.
plan to
Let's
end.
see. You guys put Lancelot on B, huh?
I mean,
Yeah.
I decided.
The main thing is that he's very, very self-contained, so whilst he just contributes nothing else to any other team, basically.
Yeah, probably don't throw him into any other decks.
Like, Dulac could be good in some Wraith decks, but the issue is that he's 4 mana. And 4 mana can be very fucking heavy.
Yeah, you probably want him as your master, you don't run him at all.
Yeah. And as a master, he's honestly not as good as the other ones.
Okay, let's see. Iris will be... Sure.
Keeper had some very bad words for that one.
Would Keeper say she's lower?
No, Keeper put her a B.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Who? What? What's happening?
We're talking about Ilya.
Yeah. And we were simply saying that you put her definitively at B.
Because I wasn't there for like some of these.
Yeah, overall, yeah.
How about you, Keeper? Is there anything here that you would put anywhere else?
I'm just gonna say it now. I'm moving Medusa to the bottom of B.
You're waiting for Charism to leave to put it in.
Yeah, pretty much.
I also like how he successfully dodged the question of what we were talking about to Karasum.
Yes, I know. I intentionally did that.
I'm sure you did.
Okay.
Don't want to get banned, you know?
Where do you even run Medusa except from that fucking waiver control deck?
Sakura, as I said before.
Oh yeah, that one deck. Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
She's also Loyal Protector can also go in 2 army decks, 2 HAP army decks, and she's also good for multi-hit because multi-attack rather, because the minus 300 for the entire turn means that you can effectively attack 3 times, and they're down a martial skill from the outset.
I guess that Easy Rider's useful sometimes. Honestly, Herc could be a bit more up because God Hands are insane.
The thing is that when we got to Herc, we had an uncomfortable and awkward silence because nobody fucking plays Herc.
Look, I tried to speak up on one of the Herc possible masters. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know. God Hands are insane. I don't think he's B.
God Hands are insane, but are you going to like put it into other decks?
I mean,
I played the Elia Herc team a decent bit when she first came out, which was one of the first.
I mean, the reason why no
first
one's
team.
playing him is not because he's bad. He's good, but no one plays him because he's boring. I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I find Okita kind of boring, honestly. So
I mean, you play a shit ton though, so that's on you.
yeah.
Nah, Herc is not so low. It's like God Hands are insane.
The main reason why they are this low is because they're very self-contained, though. You can't really splash 12 labors into fucking everything now, can you?
Yeah, I've seen Alkidas being used in a lot of decks.
Well, yeah, but Alcides is like fucking amazing. 602 Archer.
Yes, that's why.
Avenger.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
But that's the only one.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah, I guess. So where would you put him?
Probably somewhere top of A.
Really? You put them above Medea, Artoria, and Critical?
Yeah, somewhere around Artoria.
Wild.
Gothans are like Saber class on steroids.
Well, aside from the fact they can be Saber class too.
Yeah. And then you
also,
you got it again.
I did say at the start we should be overinflating these values mainly because we're still trying to.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. We did not clearly define what this tier list is of, so it's kind of hard to make any real determinations.
Yeah, put Herc up there. He does not go in B.
I'm put him there.
Anybody else? No.
Okay. I'm too tired to make an argument for guilds.
I don't think Gildre is that bad, but I haven't used them enough yet.
I may have talked shit about guilds, but I'm also not going to put them that low.
It's mostly that the only card that you really splash around is Holy Monster. And on his own deck is, like, solo deck is not really
I mean,
amazing.
for you, the only card you splash around is Holy Monsters. For me, I'm looking at the format and I'm going, yeah, I'm gonna break this.
What does
Well?
Lush have? Okay, this card is S tier, obviously.
Yeah, then we have this.
What the fuck?
But then her solo deck is kind of just not very good.
I
So-
think Black Barrel is still being figured out, kind of, I think.
Yeah. The main
Because you
issue-
can also just attack with a shitty ass servant, call assist, Black Barrel. Like,
Yeah, it's true. But you only have 2 of them, so... And
Yes,
it can also be
it's,
saber classed and...
if you get 2 clean hits on the master, you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, Saber class kinda cucks it. I wish
Yeah,
Saber class
too.
would just not affect 2 grail cards, honestly.
there's a lot of things about saber class in this game, but that's the issue with relying upon a strategy like this. You just kind of, if they save a class at once, then you just kind of throw up your hands and go, well, I guess that's that.
Actually, Lancelot's not that self-contained because he actually works quite well with Mesh. Because not just because of the team, but where is it? You have Knight of the Lake, so if you want, you can prevent the hits dealt to you, and then your opponent takes 2. And if you have the team, you don't even need this. Actually, this is a Galahad, though, so you still need a...
Yeah, you still need an Automax.
Then again, still works well with Black Barrel.
I mean, if you're going to do something like this, you can just, use arrows, and suddenly you get the same effect.
Yeah, but they don't have a team together, you know? But honestly,
Sure.
I don't think this team is supposed to be created just there, so you put it into this card and you copy it with this.
All Someone's Glory, yeah.
You're not even supposed to. I mean, I still run this. I mean, I have this once in my Lancelot deck, but I just have it because of this. But I still run 2 of the Fight Ender Mash, so it could be that I've randomly formed this.
Yeah. I mean, Fight Under Mash is kind of one of the best cards in the game, so it makes sense. But let's not keep DXD up too late.
Oh, no,
Is there
it's fine,
anything else that we would change?
No. Considering the fact I wasn't allowed to downplay Waiver, yeah, no.
Well, you know what? We can downplay him a little. He can go to the bottom of S. How about that?
I'll take that. Because for me, I think, I play a lot of Waiver, and for me, it's like, he just feels like his win con is either you either play long enough that your opponent just gets burned out and give up, or you somehow manage to cycle your Bellathorns enough to kill. Yeah.
I mean, he's more of a support unit, and he's very good at that.
Yeah, but
The fucking shuffle hand into your deck draw free is so insane.
Well, the thing is that the real win con for waiver decks is just relentless hotshots, and you just use the very very good King's Gambit, and then you just win. But other than that, yeah, there isn't. Really
King's Gambit doesn't even need that. It's always insane.
Yeah, but
you can even target yourself if your hand is empty and get card advantage.
It's true, but 0 cards versus 3 cards when you play it immediately,
And then, even if you don't, if your opponent doesn't lose a shit of card advantage, it means that the ones he kept in his hand are gone now, and he gets 3 random ones. And the ones he kept in his hand are probably the good ones. So.
Actually, you know what? That feels better.
Does it? I actually think Ku belongs higher than Kiri.
Yeah, the gay ball buff probably did a lot.
It's the gay bulk buff. It's the fact that Day Off can go in a lot of decks. It's the fact that he has lots of skills. He gets synergy with Waiver with this team. He gets one of the best teams in the game with this because he can recycle Gaebolg, Athenagabla, protection from arrows, and basically be immortal through that. Yeah, I don't know. I think he provides a lot of value to a lot of decks at the moment. And you can actually make decks around him, too. Which is more than I can say for Waiver, because Waiver can't really do a solo deck.
Yeah. Honestly, I look forward to moving off Waiver. I'm just waiting for the right, package of assassins to use. That's about it.
Okay, so here's the real question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that Okita's nerfs have actually pushed her out of being the best in the game?
No.
I don't know. Maybe not.
No. For me, a lot of Okita's value comes from the threat of being able to crit and overpower you, so you might end up overplaying. Or just end up losing, Oh, how do I explain this without being... Because the threat of crit means your opponent either has to overinvest in beating the potential of that crit, or they just don't bother fighting you.
I mean, there's no potential. She because the thing is, she still has to invest the skills that actually give her crit power. So, yeah, even if the crit is real or not, Okita's still wasting cards for it.
I mean, admittedly, if you have Okita Soji, Consumptive Blade Master, and you play Aijutsu, suddenly you're at 1,200 power with 3 hit count, potentially. And in that sense, you can kind of bluff it like that, because that's a fucking ungodly amount of power that you've just dropped
Yep,
on their
but
face.
it's also like the best case scenario, like having that one enter skill.
Having one of the skills which is core to your game plan? You mean?
And it also means you have master access for it actually to be threatening, because your opponent is like, okay, sure, kill my servant, I don't care.
Yeah, that's true. But being able to one-tap a 3 HP servant is also kind of insane.
It's kind of sad that her hard counter is like bad, like you don't run 100 faces in decks, usually. And even in the decks you run it, you don't run as Vanya. And the only deck where you run him is the fucking Kirei team. And there he doesn't stay very long.
See, the thing is that you can just deal with that by running, you know, the order. Like, you just use this, and you just use Aijutsu for card draw. They use the Zabanya, and they go, oh, hey, you don't have a crit on the top of your deck, and then you just put it in afterwards.
Actually, are there some... there are some cards which give you mill effects, right? Like, Ares should also be good when she has some things to make you discard, because you just mill 2 cards and then you lose crit again.
Theoretically, yes, but it's also Ishtar, so frankly, you kind of just beat her over the head without even needing crit. This is still a unrestricted martial mastery, after all.
Right, I'll be right back.
Well, I think we can call this around about here.
Yeah, this is gonna be the final video I have to film on this shit computer, which is why I didn't want to edit it, because I'm gonna fucking throw it in the bin once I upload it.
Why don't we, you know, consider this a draft then, and with your new computer, do a full video, huh?
Nope.
Alright, you do you.
Yep. And I think, yeah, like I said, I'm just waiting for a good assassin package to come along so I can get off my Wither Medusa bullshit. And then, I don't know, maybe play around more with the Herc Archer Avenger thing. Because I said this has the potential to be a really good master. Because, like I said, you have access to the Avenger cards as well as the Archer cards at the same time. It should be broken.
I'm going to be honest, the only one that you really want to utilize on them is Innocent Monster and occasionally Annihilation Wish, because you have no discard for Oblivion Correction.
Yeah, exactly.
So then,
who cares about that
taking that in mind, you then have these 3. They are all good, 100%.
Yep.
And then we have Alcides himself. He does not get Berserker skills, however.
Mm-hmm. But he does get hurt skills, so you can easily kind of force him to do a Hawkeye with Overpower. So you can threaten them.
Rampage is also just amazing.
And as Kessin mentions, if they ended up overpowering you with Annihilation Wish, you can just 12 labors your Annihilation Wish away.
Oh, holy shit, that it got removed.
Yeah, you can remove the Annihilation Wish if they go overpower over it. So it
That's
literally forces your opponent to be checkmate. It's either get killed by Achilles, or overpower me and then bet if I don't have the 12 labors.
And if you're doing that by the end of the fight, frankly, your base is likely a bit higher than theirs.
Yeah, so what
Unless
I'm saying,
they call like assists, but yeah.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, this is another win for Fate/Strange Fake.
Perhaps so. I hope to see more Heracles decks, though. It's a bit of a shame that we don't have any.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna pivot to playing this or this, honestly.
I don't like this one.
I like on the basis it's 5 mana, it's big, and that's all it needs to be.
I just don't really agree.
And
I feel like the HP is just a bit of a weight, really. You just don't have any more of it.
all it needs to be is a very big boy.
I just think Son of Zeus is probably a bit better.
Then why don't you make it?
Because I thought about it at the time, back when Okita was completely unnerfed, and I went, wow, this looks really, really interesting, and how could I make this work? And then I just thought, wait, even if I did make this work at the best, it's just not going to beat Okido. And then I stopped thinking about it, because there wasn't any point at the time to think about aggro decks that weren't Okido. Which is kind of why I dislike Okido in this game, because they really are just kind of the queen of aggro, and you kind of just completely win games if people don't have the counters.
And Kirsten called me the fucking single-minded one.
I mean, it's not about being single-minded, it's just that, like, I don't like wasting effort. And that felt like wasting effort.
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's everything I need to say, I think.
Alrighty, then finish saying things.
Okay, um, mm, mm, um, Waiver is actually C. There you go, Enfier.